All right.
Sorry.
Welcome back to the Bump in the Night podcast. I am your host, the Boogieman Johnny Zuko, along with my co-host
Ginger Snap. Ow. Wasn't sure if we were going to do that or not.
God, that's terrible. That's why I didn't want to do that. Surrounded by wolves here. Oh my God. So.
What kind of sound does the Boogieman make?
Yeah, like a laugh, like yeah.
No, I got my own laugh, but I just can't do it
You
right
can't
now.
do it?
Because it'll hurt your ears.
You hurt my ears anyway.
Yeah.
So. That ain't going to change much.
No, I kind of got modeled my laugh after a character called Dr. Roxa from Metalocalypse.
Oh, what happened to that show?
Got canceled.
Oh.
After season 4, it got canceled, and then
It was Adult Swim, right?
yeah, and they want to do another. They wanted to do. Brandon Small wanted to do another season.
Mm-hmm.
Adult Swim didn't want to. They
Aww.
parted ways. So Brandon Small took his Metalocalypse, and last I heard they were doing a tour somehow. They were doing they were doing
like
an actual,
a live tour.
Yeah, like a live tour.
How's that gonna go if it's
Well, it's
animated?
like the gorillas, how
Oh.
they have like the screen and stuff.
Yeah.
So that's.
But
what
then
they
it's
would
like
do.
that to me is surprising, like that people would pay to see that, because like you're not seeing them, you're just seeing like a screen.
Yeah, you're paying like
Right?
$100 to watch a Metalocalypse.
But are they like?
episode.
I know, right? So it's kind of like a ripoff, unless they're like behind doing the voices live or something.
No, they're there.
You just
But
don't see
Brandon
them. You see
Small
like.
Brandon Small plays like almost all the characters.
Oh, okay. That's kind of tricky to do then.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is. And so we got a jam-packed episode. Jam-packed. I want to say, rest in peace to Rutger Hauer. He recently
Yeah.
passed away. That's sad, you know.
That was
The
sad.
Hitcher,
Mm-hmm.
actually kind of started my love for horror.
Yeah,
That was
that
one
was
of
such
those-
a good movie.
It's just one of those movies where, you know, as a kid, you walk away taken away from like the girl being ripped apart and the finger in the fry. But then
Yeah.
watching it as an adult,
Right.
you realize, man, this is a really dark movie.
It was. And then I love that scene with him where he's like holding the little teddy bear in the car and they're like driving. That was great.
Yeah,
so
that was
great.
great suspense right there.
Yeah.
I remember I watched that like a couple years ago, and I was like, "Fuck, this shit still holds up."
Does.
I tried to show my friends that movie,
Mm-hmm.
and both fucking times, both my friends were like, "I'm not into it."
Why?
I don't know. They thought I was stupid, that I was lame. I was like, dude, this is
What?
not good.
That's lame.
It's like, dude, you need to watch this because this is such a good movie.
Did you see the remake of it?
Yeah, I didn't like it.
Yeah.
I thought Sean Bean was a very strong choice.
Yeah.
I did not care for the couple.
But they had a really cool car though.
They had a
That was
cool
really
car, but I think that's the only reason why,
yeah.
you know, it was there.
Yeah.
Also, I want to say rest in peace to Russie Taylor. She is the voice actor of The Simpsons.
That's
and she
right.
played Martin Prince. And so, going forward, there will be no more Martin Prince.
Aw.
Which is kind of sad because Martin Prince had some really great moments in the show.
Yeah.
Particularly in the earlier episodes. There's always this one episode that I take away where it's him and Nelson and they're friends for some reason.
Yeah.
Like, you don't know why, but like,
Yeah.
I just remember by the end of the episode, like, Nelson saves Martin Prince's ass from something, and it's like, "You're my friend," and "You're my friend. You just admit it." It's like, no. And then he walks away, and Nelson just puts his hands in his pocket and just walks away, and then Martin Prince just starts skipping around him, like, yeah, he starts just saying, "You're my friend."
Should we watch some of those episodes
Like,
now?
shh. Oh man. And then another great episode is when they went on the road trip
What? I remember that one.
to the World's Fair. Bart got an ID.
Oh,
Martin
yeah,
had.
yeah. It's been a while since I've seen that one.
That was such a great episode.
Man.
That was such a good episode. So, you know, we lost two big heavy hitters
Yeah.
in entertainment this week. Also, did you watch anything? Because I got a couple things I want to talk about.
Yeah, I saw a couple things. I don't know if I should bring this up this episode.
No, what?
Well, the Haunting of Sharon
No,
Tate.
go ahead.
All right, because I mean the whole.
We talked about it a little bit off air, so
yeah, we talked about like off air, but there's like a lot of Sharon Tate movies that are, or Manson movies that are centered around this summer. There's 3. There's Charlie Says, Haunting of Sharon Tate, and then the new Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. So I saw The Haunting of Sharon Tate, which is now on Amazon. I agree with Sharon Tate's sister, Deborah. I just feel like this was done in really poor taste. It's not a diss to, like, any of the actors or, like, you know, anybody that made it. But I just think it's... When these are real people and you're kind of making up a story in it that didn't exist, it kind of is baffling to me. So, like, they made this totally seem that Sharon Tate knew she was going to die. And that she had these like psychic visions and all these premonitions, and that it was like her destiny to die. And they really play that up in the movie, and they show her like get murdered and everybody like many times. And that wasn't true. That was not true. This seemed like it was like a horror movie and not like based on real events, you know?
That was the point. Is that
But
it was inspired by an interview, like a portion of an interview where she said
she had an interview.
about a dream.
Yeah, years.
But that it wasn't.
It was nothing like this.
True. Like
Yeah.
it wasn't really a true story. It was an exaggeration of something.
Yeah, she, like, I don't remember the whole story, but it was years before. It wasn't in the same house. It was, like, at Jay's house, I think. And she had a dream that she saw an actor that was dead that died there or something. I don't know the full details, but it was not her. It wasn't, like, her friends or anything like that. But then this one makes it look like she saw Charlie. Charlie came to the door. He hands her, like, a record. And then she sees him in the house. He plays his record in the house multiple times. And the whole family, like, she has, like, these feelings like she knows these people and that, like, she knows she's going to die. So, I don't know. I personally think it was done in very bad taste. When that wasn't true. None of that happened at all. So, and her sister, like, was really against this from happening. I will give them, like, the soundtrack was really good. I really liked the score of the movie, and it was shot okay. But that ruined, that whole thing, like, ruined it for me. So, I don't know. You can watch and see for yourselves. I've gotten into arguments with people online about it who actually haven't seen the film. So if you're going to, first of all, if you're going to argue with me on something, please watch the film.
Get your facts straight.
Yeah, get your facts straight, boys, and, you know, don't just...
Be the prerequisite for any...
Yeah, like, people don't do that, though. They just, you know, read something and they don't, like, watch it themselves. But, so I saw that, and I saw Charlie Says a couple weeks ago. I really liked that one. I thought they did, same director of American Psycho. I thought that one did a really good job. So I recommend that one over The Haunting of Sharon Tate.
Okay, so, no easy way to segue into this, but I need to bring this up because this is pissing me off.
Okay.
Like everything else in life pisses me off. This Halloween nonsense is fucking bullshit.
Oh, the 2 sequels coming out?
No, not that.
What?
No, I'm actually trying to move.
What Halloween bullshit?
Okay, people are trying to move Halloween to the last Saturday of the month.
Yes, so dumb. So that's not what Halloween's about.
So I looked into this and I figured, and now I know why they're trying to move this.
Because they want to drink, right?
No, it's the costume sales of America, something like that. It's the people that make the costumes.
Are you kidding me?
They are the ones that made up the petition to move Halloween to Saturday.
Why?
To get people to buy more costumes and go out and fucking buy candy and shit like that. That's what really came down to.
So it's all about money. It's all about money.
It's about money. That's what it's really all about. They want people. It's not because we want the children to go out and trick or treat. Shit, when I was a kid, we had to go right after school.
Yeah, I remember doing that. We went during like the daytime.
And
after
we came
school.
back and we came home right around 8, just in time for The Simpsons. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and to eat your candy.
And boom, like, so what? Who cares? You know, why should these kids have it any different? They should fucking be on point after school. They should be in costume in school.
They should wear costume to school. And, like, I'm sorry, don't you remember as a kid, like, no one really had class that day? They kind of had, like, cupcakes and, like, little parties at school.
No, so for me, it was the first half, it was all work. It was all work. And then after the second recess, and all the way up to lunch, it was boom.
It was all fun, right?
It was all fun. Like, all fun and games, you can watch a movie, whatever.
Yeah.
And so, that's what it was. And so, dude, are you serious, dude? Like, fucking the costumes sales of America wants to fucking...
That's complete bullshit.
It's already garnered fucking over 10,000 signatures.
It better not pass. Like, it's 2019. How many years have we had the tradition of going trick-or-treating? If anything, they should have a petition to make the next day off if there's school. That should be a petition.
You
not
know,
the day
one
off.
of the things I said too is like, if you're so fucking like butthurt about not enjoying Halloween,
Yeah.
and you know what day it falls on, why don't you fucking request the night off months in advance?
Yeah.
Like you do with New Year's Eve, like
Yep.
you do with Thanksgiving, like you do with Christmas. Halloween ain't no motherfucking different.
And like All Souls Day is a holiday too. The next day, November 1st.
Dia de los Muertos,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So
it's like, why not have that off too?
it's like, why not, if you're work like in the morning,
Yeah.
request the next day off.
Yeah.
If you work during the night, request that night off so you can sleep in during the day. Like,
Yeah.
that's fucking bullshit,
And
man.
that beats the whole purpose of like its tradition and the origin of Halloween. Like, that is such bullshit. That pisses me off, and I hope it doesn't pass. I really hope not.
Oh, wait, hold on. There was something that I read, and, okay, here it is. So, where is
I
it?
think
Where is
Halloween
it?
should be on October 29th.
Says you.
Everyone who has their birthday on Halloween will be so, I guarantee.
So,
Because they're all Scorpios.
So this
they're
is-
like stoked that they're born on that day. They'll be so bummed if it
so
changes.
this is a direct quote from the Halloween and Costume Association. 70% of parents don't accompany their children trick-or-treating. You're never too old to go trick-or-treating. That's bullshit. When I was 13, the guys...
you are never too old to go trick-or-treating. I don't agree with that.
And so, motherfucker slammed the door in his face.
Yeah.
My face. It's like, hey, get
Aren't
the
you
fuck
little-
off my lawn.
Aren't you a little too old to be trick or
I think
treating?
Grab a
people that dress
costume.
up, they should be allowed to.
Grab a costume and take advantage of some good old-fashioned family bonding. 51% of millennials say Halloween is their favorite holiday. Why cram it into two rushed evening weekday hours when there's a full day?
Okay, I fucking hate millennials, and I am one. But
We are millennials.
But I
That's
don't
the problem.
associate. I do not associate myself with millennials.
It says when it comes down to it, the petition aims to make Halloween a safer night for kids by allowing more adult involvement. With the petition about to land in Donald Trump's lap,
Oh my god.
we could very well see the date change happening in
Oh
the
my
near
god,
future.
that's so scary. That's bullshit.
How does he feel
Thanksgiving
about Halloween?
doesn't have a concrete date, so why should Halloween? That's a fucking dumb idea. Because the reason the Halloween is on a set date is because of the barrier.
Yeah, it's the thinnest veil between the living and the dead.
Well, it's not even that, but it's also something.
That's what it is.
It's not even that.
But that's what it is. That's what it's about.
No, there was something else that I wanted. There was something else that was more like, I guess scientific. I don't fucking know. But it had to do something with the Earth and the reason why, like, you're able to tell when like winter is supposed to start or something.
Because
like that.
the
like
light.
the end of fall or
Yeah,
something like that. You know
the
what I
lighting.
mean? That's
It's
what
dark.
it is. So
That's
I
bullshit.
think that's fucking.
That's so stupid. I'm gonna protest that. Like, everybody protests everything these days. I'm gonna fucking protest their protest. You know?
And so
Screw that.
The thing is that I honestly feel that the people that are signing these petitions are not family people. They're not moms and dads signing this.
They probably don't have kids.
I would think that these are just like people out there wanting an excuse
Yeah.
to go out on a Saturday night and fucking drink and have fun.
Like college students or something.
Yeah, and I think that's what it is.
But the thing is adults do that anyway.
Yeah,
They-
I
the
get that.
weekend closest to Halloween becomes a party
Yeah.
dress up weekend.
Yeah.
And they do it the weekend before also. It's like the week of. So I don't think that would have that much bearing because it seems like they celebrate anyway. I know I do when I have my Halloween parties. I just pick the weekend closest to Halloween and that's when I do it.
Yeah.
No, but I just think that it's just wrong because, you're going to rack up a lot more DUIs. You're going to rack up a lot
I
more
was thinking
accidents.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. It's hard to get by nowadays, so parents have to work 2 to 3 jobs just to keep a fucking roof over their heads.
Yeah,
now.
you don't really have a lot of like
And
single
so-
parents at home anymore. Watching or like a mom watching her kids. Like, that's not really as popular anymore because both parents have to work.
Yeah,
so.
both parents, or a lot of especially if you're like raised in a small community. It's mostly single parents.
Yeah.
And so, they have to work and they have to rely on other people to get their kids out and trick or treat.
Yeah.
I think it's a bad idea. They need to keep it there because it's tradition.
Yeah.
And one of the
Why
things,
change it now?
people have been trying to do this for years. This petition actually has been up for 2 years.
I'm so against it. Like, I'm going to be really pissed off if this passes.
With anything in life, I know, right?
With everything else going on, like, come on. Like, let us keep our tradition,
And Halloween, especially for, like, the horror community, that's our Christmas.
Yeah.
Why are you going to take that away from us?
I know. It's bullshit.
We'll still celebrate on the 31st, but, like, you know what? I don't fucking know, man. It's fucking dumb, and I think the petition is just fucking stupid.
I don't know what this world's coming to.
People just want to find a reason to get hammered. That's what it is, honestly. They want to use Thanksgiving. Like, no, motherfucker.
That's not Thanksgiving at all.
So, honestly, if you're a person that's bummed because you can't enjoy Halloween, what do you do about Christmas and Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
You request those fucking days off.
Exactly.
New Year's Eve, you request those days off, There are certain jobs, like my job, like some working those kind of holidays are mandatory because it's all hands on deck.
Right.
So, it's like, well, too fucking bad, you know what I mean? Oh, well. But yeah, that's kind of our rant right there on that. That's just kind of like bugged the fucking shit out of me, and I posted it too on Facebook. And I know some people agreed with me, but at the same time, it's like, well, I don't think. I think it's just wrong.
Yeah, it's completely wrong.
And then, so there's no other easy way to segue into this, but
today's just not an easy segue day.
No, it never is. But yeah, that Halloween petition bullshit is bullshit.
Bullshit.
I'll tell you what's not bullshit is Amazon Prime's The Boys. Is
that good? Because I haven't checked it out yet.
That is fucking awesome.
So it's worth a watch?
Yeah, it is. If you're someone that's really sick and tired of these cookie cutter superheroes like the MCU, this is the show for you.
Is it violent?
Oh yeah, it is fucking graphic. They make Superman a domestic terrorist.
What?
Aquaman is a sexual predator.
Ew.
Wonder Woman is a pushover.
It is what Brightburn should have been.
Oh really?
Yes.
Yeah, and
it's actually pretty good.
Oh.
So I mean, obviously these characters are not Superman, Aquaman, and
Yeah, they're just like based on.
They're based on them. Yeah. They share the same kind of look, so it's kind of varies on the parody. But it is such a fucking great show. Holy shit!
How many? Is it like 8 episodes?
It's 8 episodes, all an hour long. Carl Urban is fucking terrific. I will tell you though, the guy that stole this fucking series from me is Anthony Starr, and he plays Homelander.
Homelander, okay. He's one to watch out for.
He fucking steals this fucking series. Like, oh my god,
but do they
so
like
good.
Do they blend comedy with like the violence or?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so it doesn't take its stuff like too seriously.
No, it's written to the point where where it gets serious, but there's always humor. It's like that dark humor, like a Nightcrawler.
Okay.
So that humor is in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This fucking show deals with a lot of fucking hot topics, like racism, the Me Too movement. There's a moment in there where, a superhero is accused of rape.
Oh shit.
And it's like, fuck.
So it's really relevant then.
Yeah, it's really relevant to today, and oh my god, like the whole motivation behind this, and then when you get to the end, it is. it blew my mind last night because I
did you watch the whole thing?
Yeah, over a course of 4 days.
Oh, okay.
I didn't sit there and binge it because I hate binging sometimes. It makes me feel like I need to go out and do something.
Yeah.
So I finished the last 3 episodes last night, and I was like, fuck. But I definitely recommend it. This is, like, if you're really sick and tired of this MCU, of the MCU kind of heroes, this is the show for you. Okay. It is very well written, well acted. The cast is fucking terrific.
Nice.
And the superheroes are fucking despicable. Holy shit, they're really bad. And the Flash, he's a junkie. He's a fucking roid head.
Kind of sounds like Watchmen a little bit. Like the vibe.
Okay, so I wasn't sure you were up on that, but yeah, it's definitely kind of like the Watchmen, but not as serious.
Okay.
There is a lot of humor to this. Like, you will find yourself laughing at moments where you don't think you should be laughing.
Like, I feel so wrong. I'm laughing at this.
Yeah, there's some really good things on there. But yeah, this is like a better version of Watchmen. I am curious to see what the HBO version is going to look like.
I just saw that trailer recently.
Yeah. I think that's going to be good. That has nothing to do with the source material. They actually took that universe and made its own story.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see how they do that.
I am too, because I'm actually a fan of the movie, and I know like a lot of people aren't, but I really liked the movie.
I like that movie, but it needed to be trimmed down a little.
You think it was too long?
No, there's a couple story points where I just didn't care for. I didn't care for Dr. Manhattan's story.
You didn't?
No.
Oh, I thought he was great.
I liked the actor that played him. I just didn't like his story arc.
Interesting.
I loved Rorschach.
Yeah, Rorschach was my favorite.
I love Rorschach and Night Owl. I really wish that they put more story, because I felt Rorschach's story was the main plot.
Yeah.
Because one of the first characters we introduced is Rorschach.
Yeah.
So,
and that great voice. He had such a good voice.
Yeah, and they should have just let him do that as Freddy.
I know, and they didn't. What the hell?
Fucking bullshit.
Man.
But yeah, have you watched the 4-hour cut of that?
No, I've only seen like the theatrical cut.
So this was only 3 hour.
Only 3 hours?
The only 3 hour one. No, I don't know. So Watchmen for me was okay. It's a hit and a miss, but I really enjoyed Rorschach's story. Though.
Yeah.
I think his story was a lot better, and he was a much more realistic and a fault hero.
Yeah.
So I thought that was good. But yeah, if you like Watchmen, you'll definitely like this for sure. Highly recommend it. And then I saw The Art of Self-Defense, which was a really dark fucking movie.
Man, all this dark shit lately.
yeah, but you don't like watching the trailer though. You don't think it gets there, it does, and then
it takes you by surprise.
Yeah, it gets once it gets dark, it leans into it. Mm-hmm. So I appreciate that. But yeah, Art of Self-Defense, highly recommend. I do have a couple issues with that, but I will save that for when you see it.
Yeah,
so we can talk about it.
I do want to see it.
Let's see, and that's pretty much it for right now. I don't think I watched Next of Kin. Have you watched that yet?
No, I haven't.
It's an okay movie.
It's okay. That's it? That's all you have to say?
Yeah. I just wondered if you saw it. That way we can talk about that.
No, I haven't.
No, it's on Shudder, so you should probably watch it soon.
I actually tried. Before I forget, I tried to get into Puka.
No, you couldn't do it?
I just couldn't, because I know that's like one of your favorites.
Yeah.
I just couldn't get into it.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel the same way with Treehouse. That's just one of those ones I just
Treehouse I didn't care for that much either, but I loved I'm Just Fucking With You. I thought that was like the best one.
Yeah, that's the one I need to watch, because a lot of people are saying that's like one of the better ones.
It's funny, yeah.
Puka, really?
I will say this, I did love like the lighting and like the style. I thought like they did a really good job with that, but I don't know, I just couldn't get into it for some reason. I don't know why. Wasn't for me.
Okay, alright.
Yeah.
Alright, well, anything else?
That's it.
That's it?
That's it.
Alright, so.
Today's a special episode. Today's an episode where it's kind of a different episode. We are going to play a game of like 20 questions where you get to know your hosts better, which is us. So we're each going to ask each other 10 questions that we have no idea about, and hopefully it's good and not depressing, and maybe we'll find out more things about each other we didn't know. So
I already know you're already like gonna be a downer.
I am not gonna be a downer. Oh my god,
fucking downer.
You better have some good questions.
I don't have any good questions. I don't know bullshit.
Who's the downer now?
Why are you such a bitch? That's my first question.
Oh my god. What is this, Jason?
Yeah, right. All right, so you go first.
I go first?
You
okay.
go first.
Let me pop my questions up. Okay, so mine's going to be, I'm going to start off light. So what was the first movie that got you into horror, and how old were you?
Let's see. First movie. I want to say it's Elm Street, but I don't know if it's the first one or the fourth one.
Okay.
I want to say Elm Street, and I was about 6.
You're 6 years old? That's
6
pretty
years
young.
old, because Wait, you talking about what was the second question?
What was the first horror movie, or what was the first movie that got you into horror, and how old were you?
Oh, okay, no. So it wouldn't be Elm Street. Elm Street scared the shit out of me. So I think it would be Dream Master.
Dream Master?
Dream Master was the one where I really saw, like, you can do a whole lot more with horror. And I was about, 8, 9? Because I was rummaging. Because when we moved from our old house, we lost a lot of our movies. And one of the movies that happened to survive the move was Elm Street 4.
Nice. That's a good one not to get lost.
Yeah, so I popped that in there, and then the song just hypnotized me.
Yeah.
And that's why I even told Tuesday night, too, that I told her when I saw her at the PreacherCon, like, that song just resonated with me. I really love that song.
Yeah, it's a good song.
And that's why I bought that CD from her. And I was like, you know what? I just love that song, And so it just hypnotized me. And just that whole time, and right around that time, MTV was getting out and cartoons, all that stuff. Freddy was like that movie felt like a live action cartoon to me.
It was a fun movie, and it had like a really great soundtrack. Like
it did.
Dramarama, like
Sinead
Blondie.
O'Connor.
Yeah, it had a really good music. And it was I feel like that's a fun film to watch with people too.
Oh yeah, that's a really good watch with a group.
Yeah.
And so that was a movie that really got me into it and kind of started digging my hole, so to say. And so
digging your grave.
And so I started going backwards and then watching them. And then every time my mom would take me to like the video store, the first section I go to is the horror section.
Yeah, same.
I start running like. As soon as we walk in, I start running to the horror section. Like, Johnny, where are you going? And she'll go walking around looking for me. And then she'll always find me in the horror section. It's like, what do you want? And I show her, I want to watch this.
Yeah.
It's like, really?
You're like, come on, I'm not renting that.
And so, after a while, she started embracing it. And she bought me the VHS collection.
I was just going to ask you, do you remember that? And, like,
yeah,
if you switched it around the arms?
I still have that.
It was so cool.
And so, I have that VHS collection. And she got that for me for Christmas.
That's awesome.
And that was like the thing that I took away from that Christmas. And then right after that, I didn't open any more presents. I went home. I went into my room because I had a VHS. I started popping them in one by one. And then I think I got up till 4 and it was like 6 in the morning.
Oh my God.
And I just started watching all of them. I was like, oh shit.
That's a really good gift.
Yeah. I was hella excited.
That's an awesome gift.
And so, after a while, they kind of just, like, embraced it. It's like, it's just horror, whatever.
Yeah.
But, I think Freddy Krueger is the one that really got me into it. Elm Street, the first one really scared me. But watching 4 when I was 8 years old, I think that kind of helped.
Because it had humor.
It had humor. And then going and seeing 5 and 6 in the theater with my mom. That also kind of helped as well, too. So, Freddy Krueger is pretty much the reason why I got into horror. He was a live-action fucking cartoon. So, then I saw The Mask. I was like, this is kind of like Freddy.
Yeah, right?
Just a little less creepy.
It's just Jim Carrey. Mask is still creepy, though.
Yeah, it is. All right, so I'm going to start off with an easy one.
Okay.
Actually, not an easy one, but it's kind of hard. Why horror?
Why horror? I get asked that a lot. I don't know. I've been thinking about this a lot, actually, and I feel like it's something. This is okay. So as a kid, like getting into horror books and horror movies and horror shows, it was something that just had this like excitement behind it, but you're safe because you're in your home or you're somewhere that like you're in like your own safe environment. Yet you can have this like fantasy of something like really dark, crazy happening, but you're going to be okay. And I've always been into like the paranormal and like weird things like that. So I just have always been attracted to that kind of stuff. And I don't know, it's just like this other dark side of me, I guess. So I don't know, like I just think it's very exciting and it drives like an impulse in me, like a flight or fight mode where it's like, what would I do in a situation like that? Like, I always think if I was the character in that movie, what would I do? And it's like survival instinct. So I don't know. It just like, it gets me excited and I'm never bored. And it's a challenge. Like it challenges you, which I think is like really exciting too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good answer.
Yeah.
But I don't buy it though.
What? You don't buy it.
I don't buy it. I'm not buying what you're selling right now.
Oh my God. Drink that Kool-Aid.
No, but I do agree with you though. Like, the fight or flight instance. You know, it's funny because Dee Wallace even says like when she was filming Cujo, like that fucked with her because it's like,
oh my god, that was
like
scary.
your body. She was telling, I forgot who she was talking to, but she was talking to someone saying, filming that movie really fucked with me because your body doesn't know if this is real or fake, and so. Like after going through that, I kind of suffered through some PTSD.
I'm sure she did.
And it's like, oh shit. And then watching Cujo, it's like, fuck, yeah, you really don't know if that's real or fake.
And that's like a physical role too. Like she's trapped in a car. It's like probably really hot, and you got this crazy dog. And animals are unpredictable, right? Mm-hmm. You never know if they can.
I was gonna say there's been movies where what was the one where they were in the graveyard? Was it The Omen? And the dog's actually
the remake. Yeah, in the remake. Yeah. The dog's
and he, broke his rib or something happened to him. I mean, so
it's
there's that
scary.
too. Is you don't know if
unpredictable.
They're supposedly trained.
Yeah, but you just never know.
Yeah,
you can never be too safe.
It's funny because in the remake, we were watching this thing about making that scene, and the dogs actually, for whatever reason, they did a bunch of practice runs. All of them were cherry. For whatever reason, once they started filming, the dog just snapped and then broke that dude's ribs.
That's crazy. Oh my god.
That was insane.
That's scary.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mess with that.
All right, next up.
All right, so you. What's your favorite horror film?
Favorite.
And you can only have one.
God damn it.
Everybody gets one.
No, I get two.
You get one.
Special. I get 1A, 1B.
Everything in your collection except for one movie.
What would it be? That's a
hard.
really hard. I know it's a really hard question.
I have a lot of horror movies in my motherfucking collection. A lot of them that I love too.
Seems like an easy question, but it's not.
No, that's not an easy question because it's if someone says like, "What's your top 5?" That's easier.
Yeah, I know.
If someone says, "What's your one horror movie?"
Because doesn't watching a movie kind of depend on your mood? Like
absolutely.
Mood in general, like
absolutely. Yeah.
So
and the seasons too, right? Like I feel like the seasons have a big play. Weather, like your mood, environment, that all factors into everything. And I feel like people change their mind over time. Like I bet if I asked you 5 years ago what were your top 5, they'd be completely. I mean, maybe
horror movies or different movies.
Horror. Yeah. Like you might have one or two that are the same, but I feel like people change their mind a lot over time.
Yeah, mine change every now and again.
Yeah.
But the ones that are always there are Behind the Mask and Hatchet.
So, okay.
But that's not one that I'm having right now.
I thought we were getting close.
So, no, but actually, I would have to go, if I'm my favorite horror movie, I would have to go with probably Evil Dead.
Original or remake?
Original. Well, duh, original.
Hey, with you sometimes, I never know. I never know what I'm getting, so.
I'm giving the finger to Ginger Snap right. No, I really love Evil Dead. That is such a visceral experience.
I didn't know that was one of your, like...
Yeah, that's one of my favorites.
Interesting.
I just don't talk about it as much because, everyone has to have a movie on there.
I know.
That's one... and I love Evil Dead, and I love Army of Darkness, Evil Dead 2, Ash vs. Evil Dead. Even love the remake to it, even though we disagree on that. But I think Evil Dead still holds such a power where you watch it, it's just a visceral experience. It's intense.
I mean, that tree rape scene.
It is. And another thing too is like, as someone that's trying to like become a filmmaker, that is a very good movie to watch because you can understand how he did this, or why he shot it this way. He basically shot that movie with no money, and that's and I even touched upon this in our earlier episodes, where one of the reasons I love that movie is because he did it himself.
Yeah, it's very inspiring, actually. And they were like friends, right? Didn't they go to like Michigan State or something?
That whole crew was all a bunch of friends of Sam's and Bruce's friends.
And the whole car thing, I love that he kept that car and like uses that in a bunch of his other films. I think that's really funny.
Yeah, that is funny. It's
that movie
creeped
me out as a kid. I didn't get scared very easy, but that one,
it's creepy.
As much as Exorcist.
Yeah. I
remember I could not. I was at a birthday party and
You put that on?
No, they dropped us off. I'm old, remember?
No, but I'm saying like they put that on.
It was in the theater.
Oh.
They took us to the theater and dropped us off.
Oh my god.
And at her house, we got home and I could not sleep. I think I was 12.
Oh wow.
And it was. I just couldn't stop thinking about
Yeah.
it all night long. I was so creeped out.
It was
And
very
I did not get
effective.
scared very easy. It was
Yeah.
very effective.
No, it is effective.
It's
and
very
I
effective.
have the Anchor Bay DVD release, and I watched it one night, and I was like, shit, I need to turn on all the lights. And I turned on all the
Yeah.
lights, and my mom came home and started yawning. I was like, where are all the lights on? Yeah, I mean, it still holds some kind of power, you know what
Yeah.
I mean? And that's not a movie that I revisit often, because when I want to watch it, I want to feel that same way. It's like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, where, you know, that's not a movie you can watch all the time.
Right.
But
That's a heavy fucking movie.
when you watch it, though,
Yeah.
it still holds that power over you. You
Yeah.
know, I could watch Elm Street over and over again, whatever. But, like, with certain movies that have that kind of visceral experience with me, like Evil Dead's one of those. And I was just like, boom, like, I have to watch this. Like, Evil Dead 2 was, like, one of the first movies I rented. And then I went back and I saw the first Evil Dead. It's like, this is a totally different movie.
They all are. Even Army of Darkness, like, which was hilarious. I remember the
Yeah.
first time I saw Army of Darkness, I couldn't stop laughing. Like, I thought that was so funny.
I had my stepdad buy that VHS for me for my birthday, and he's like, okay. And so we popped it in, we watched it that night, and we were just laughing our asses off.
It's hilarious.
It was great. But yeah, Evil Dead would be, if I would have to get rid of my collection, it would be that movie.
Okay.
Yeah, that movie would remain. But yeah. Okay. So, I'm going to start off with another easy one.
Okay.
Another easy one.
Okay.
Easy. This is easy. This is actually one word, but knowing you probably have 5 sentences describing why.
The fact that you say it's easy means it's not going to be easy.
So, beer, wine, or liquor?
Okay, there's like different
Liquor's
factors.
No.
There's different factors
no,
into this.
no,
Like, it
no.
depends what mood I'm in, what season it is,
Hey.
what am I doing, am I stressed out?
Hey,
There's
Hey,
all,
I had to answer that. Come on now.
there's all, but alcohol, like, there's all different kind of factors. I would have to, my answers change drastically.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Don't make me drink alone.
alone.
I think, like, if I was younger, if you would have asked me this, like, in college or, like, when I was younger, I would have said liquor. But now I'm a little more sophisticated, a little more mature.
Okay.
You know? I know,
Beer.
like, the tastes. Well, I would have to say my favorite, like, would be champagne, actually. But that gives
Very
me
Virgo
headaches.
of you.
Yeah. But I would have to say out of all those, like, besides champagne, I would have to go with wine just because, like, doesn't make me hungover, doesn't make me sick. I love rosé. There's a bunch of different, like, tastes that I like. Like, Christmas time, have a nice Syrah. Summertime, have a nice Sauvignon Blanc or rosé. So I'd have to go with wine.
Oh my
for now.
god. See?
That's-
Told you. Told
Hey,
you.
you asked.
You asked.
Told you. Fucking called it.
Second would be liquor, like margaritas and fun
Yeah.
drinks.
Nah.
But I'm
Okay.
trying to drink less now, so.
No, I'm kidding.
As she
What?
takes the drink
No.
of as she takes the drink.
She's not taking a drink.
This is
This
for
is my only beer today.
for our sponsors out there. If you could get us some Immunity Daily Superfood Boost, that is what I'm drinking right now. Being healthy.
Oh, that's funny. Okay, go ahead.
All right. Well, what's yours? Do you have like if you don't like
So I was
alcohol?
gonna
I
say-
don't
you only pick one.
I don't drink as much as I used to, but I'll have a beer.
A beer. You look
Yeah.
like a beer guy.
I can't drink liquor.
Yeah.
I-
I know I can't. I get like hangovers now.
It's so my 21st birthday, I got so hungover
Yeah.
and I threw up so bad that I never
Like that was
drank.
it for
Yeah,
you?
that was it for me.
Yeah.
Like my 21st birthday, my friends got me fucked up and I was done. Like
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah. It can affect you, you know. It makes you depressed too. Makes you
Yeah.
like cry and bring
Bullshit,
like,
that's
emotions.
happy juice. Shut the fuck up.
It could go either way. It could go either way, I think. Liquor
Yeah, I
makes
know.
me more depressed, where wine just makes me chill. So, and beer is just.
And
like,
I feel
chill.
like the same way with beer though. Beer is
Yeah.
like, you know, on a nice hot day,
Yeah.
you can have a beer and you just like,
You're
yeah.
not an angry
Just-
drunk.
yeah.
Some people
that's,
it just may. I've been around people where
Oof.
they drink and I'm like,
it's a different person.
what
Yeah.
happened?
It's a completely different
and they're
person.
just angry. Like,
You're an angry drunk.
some's pretty, yeah.
Are you? Are you really?
Absolutely not.
No. I'm
What's
kidding.
your-
And I'm an extreme lightweight.
What's
It
your
takes
drink
like
of
A
choice?
half a beer to get.
I know.
Because I never drink. I'm not a big drinker. My
Yeah.
whole life, I've never been a big drinker. Even as a teenager, going
Mhm.
to parties, I was
That's
always
good,
the
though.
sober one that was like
You're the responsible
watching
one.
over my friends.
Yeah.
and like,
The buddy system works.
It
I'm
does.
telling you.
It really
it does.
does.
Actually, there was a few. We won't get into that, but a few incidences where I did step
Yeah.
And it
You
would
have
been
to.
bad if there wasn't a more sober person. But
Yeah.
so if you go out drinking, kids,
Be safe.
be safe.
Take an Uber.
And have a sober person.
Yeah.
That maybe will
Don't
help
drink
you.
and drive.
I don't know. Beer and wine and
Beer and
liquor. I mean, because I'm not a drinker, it depends on who I'm with,
Yeah.
what we're doing.
I think who you're with
Like
is very
when we-
important too.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
You
Yeah.
know? Because, like, if you're, like, that just changes the whole vibe. And, like, where you are. Like, your
Yes.
environment, I
and
think.
some people I don't want to drink around.
Yeah.
I don't know how, because of that reason. Like,
Yep.
I know they're maybe
Yeah.
more of kind of an angry drunk and they want to drink, and I'm like,
Yeah.
But,
It can get crazy.
like, ginger snap.
Oh, come on.
I get headaches easier now.
Yeah,
I
me
noticed
too.
there's a lot of alcohol that,
Me too.
like when we had those mimosas in the can, which was so.
Did you get a headache from that?
I did.
Oh,
I
no.
did. That's why I only got halfway through. I'm like, what?
Oh, shoot.
It was like tasted like Sunny Delight with not champagne.
Oh, the canned ones. Yeah,
that
those
we
were
got.
nasty. I didn't like those.
That was gross.
Yeah, I thought you meant when we were doing the.
No, when we did it here, I
Yeah.
actually didn't.
Because that was
It's
better.
all right.
It was better champagne.
That was better quality.
Obviously,
Plus,
yeah.
it's not
During
carbonated.
The recording.
That's why I'm telling you, quality is everything.
It is. It is. That's what I tell people a lot of times. All right, go ahead. Next
All right,
one.
go ahead.
God.
All right, I think you'll like this one. What's a horror film that you absolutely despise?
It's
It's a hard one.
That is a hard one because there's not a whole lot of horror. I was actually recently asked this question too. I was asked this question on
When?
the Casio show, the radio interview show. He actually
He asked you?
Yeah, he asked me, what's a movie that you absolutely hate? And I think I gave him like, I forgot what I said. I don't know because there's not a whole lot of horror movies that like I despise.
I'm sure there's like a remake you despise.
Oh, okay. Well,
Does that make it easier?
that would probably make it easier.
Still in the horror movie.
Yeah, but I'm trying to think of
Category.
like not like a remake because you know it's such an easier answer
Yeah,
to say
that's true.
a remake.
Valentine.
Maybe okay.
Oh yeah,
true.
Valentine. Yeah, there you go.
You absolutely no, you can't despise
There
Valentine.
you go.
No, you cannot despise. You're just saying that. Shut up.
Valentine. There
No,
you go.
that is. I'm not accepting that answer.
The Meg was
The
bad.
Meg.
Is that it's like a quite
Kinda.
horror. It's stupid.
It's supposed to be
It's
horror.
in a category of stupid.
Genre S. Stupid.
There was a horror. Oh, I got it. I got it. Pinocchio's Revenge.
Wow.
This is okay. So this was released around the same time The Haunted Mask was released. It was like 1997.
Late
it was
90s, yeah.
direct to video, and I remember the motherfucking cover.
Was that Full Moon Pictures?
No, it wasn't
No.
a Full Moon picture. It was some fucking other shitty
Okay.
thing. It's actually Pinocchio, carved in wood, and in the back is a silhouette of a woman showering.
I remember
And it
that.
said Pinocchio's Revenge.
Yeah.
I remember watching it because I was like, oh man, this must be cool. We saw that, and oh my god, it is fucking terrible.
Oh man.
It is so bad. So yeah,
I haven't seen it, but I've seen the cover.
That movie fucking sucks.
Okay.
So yeah, that would be my answer.
All right.
But to me, it's like it takes a lot for me to really hate a horror movie. Like seriously,
Yeah.
you have to be.
Because you can like dislike something or like think it's lame, but to like really, really hate.
Yeah, like Valentine. Yeah,
No,
I think that's
no,
lame.
no.
But Pinocchio's Revenge was just not scary.
Yeah.
Pinocchio was hardly in it. I don't even know why they fucking used Pinocchio. Like,
I'm just,
he didn't
did
even
they,
use his nose to kill anyone.
well, that's what I'm thinking. Like, did they do anything perverted with that? Because
They tried to,
okay.
but it didn't work.
It didn't work.
Didn't work. And it's like he was hardly fucking in it, too. So it's like, what the fuck is this?
That's dumb.
So yeah, Pinocchio's Revenge from
Okay.
1997. All right, so my turn, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I just got that, you bitch. All right,
bitch.
what was your experience like in film school, and do you recommend people going to film school?
So I mean, looking back, I thought I did have really good teachers. I had teachers that did a lot of like great movies. And I did have fun. It's kind of a 50-50 because I did have fun and I did learn a whole lot, but at the same time, it cost so much money. And I feel like I could have made like a huge feature film for the amount I paid. You know what I mean? But I did make friends. You know, I did make like good connections while I was there, and I did learn a lot. But it was, if I could go back, I hate having regrets. I like to be one of those people that don't have regrets. But if I would go back, I would probably go to like a state film school and not a private film school.
What's the difference?
More money.
Okay.
Private film
But you
schools
would think private though you would have a leg up on certain things like teachers.
Yeah, our teachers like
classes,
were great.
Courses.
The class sizes were not that big, which was nice. Like if you were to do like a normal general ed class, like English or writing, those would have more students. But the actual film classes like had less than like 15 students. So you did do like a one-on-one a lot with your teacher and stuff like that, which was nice. We did have fun, like we experimented, but I feel like it was really, a lot of the people that were there were not really into what I was into. So like when you did meet that one person that was like into horror, like weird abstract like David Lynch kind of stuff, you grabbed onto them, because everyone else wanted to do like action films or drama films, which was really popular. No one really took big risks. So that is one of the downsides, but if I had to do it all over again, I would just go to a cheaper school.
You would think horror though would be one of those ones that people would gravitate to.
You would think.
You would hear, because I don't want to say it's easier to make a horror film, but you think it's a lot funner to make a horror film.
And it's a total blast. Like we would like use Hershey syrup as blood, and like it's so messy. Like we were really ballsy, I think, like our group was, but everyone else was very tame. No one really like pushed the envelope. Yeah, they played it safe. You think they were just there just
to be there?
A lot of them were from like international, so I don't know. Like I don't know if it was like a language issue or if it was like they were not secure with themselves, like they were insecure. But there's also not a lot of women either. Mostly men. So that was another challenge. Not for me, because I didn't give a shit, but for a lot of other people, I think, like, girls they wouldn't speak up. They wouldn't, like, ask as many questions. But, yeah, I mean...
Do you, like, what do you say to people, like, when they ask you, like, about film school? Like, should I go? Should I not go?
I definitely
Based on your experience.
I definitely recommend taking classes. I don't think you need to go for 4 years. I think if you take like the actual hands-on like directing classes, writing classes, editing, like the key classes, I definitely recommend that because it does really help you.
Did you learn a lot from there?
I did, yeah.
You did?
And I had a really, really cool teacher, Jesse, who runs the Midnight for Maniacs at the Castro Theater in SF. He was the coolest teacher and showed the coolest films. And he was really like motivating, and he encouraged people like, no, like push the envelope, like go out there, like do something that no one else would. So we did have like real encouragement, but I would say just take like the main classes you need to know, and that's it. Yeah.
All right. That's
anything else with that? Okay.
No, I got another one too, but it leads into it. Though,
okay. So besides horror, what other genres do you really like?
Action films.
Action films?
Action films.
Want to give us a couple that you're...
Well, I was thinking maybe, I don't know, should I backtrack on that? Or thrillers? I don't know. I do like action films. So, like, if anyone listened to my other show, Cinema Space, they know that I'm a big fucking fan of action. And I love action movies, particularly kung fu movies.
Oh, nice.
And I'm a sucker for a really good fight. I love how
a fight scene.
Yeah, like a really good fight scene where you can see geography and you can actually see the wide shot of these people actually fighting.
Yeah.
And not trying to cut around it or like fast cuts. Like, to me, I just love that shit. Like Jackie Chan, Jet Li, action films to me is one of my guilty pleasures. I love Point Break.
That's a great movie.
I fucking love that movie.
It's an awesome movie.
I love Passenger 57. Die Hard is one of my favorite. John Wick, obviously. All three of those. Even the Fast and the Furious and the Mission Impossible ones, like the latest ones, they're actually kind of stepped up, but I don't consider them action films per se. I consider them more stunt fest. It's stunt heavy. It's stunt heavy action. You know what I mean?
I was going to ask you, do you like it when actors do their own stunts? Because then you can kind of feel like it's more real rather than like what you said earlier, them cutting around it if an actor doesn't really do stunts.
I really do like. That's one of the reasons why I like Tom Cruise, because he does his own stunts.
He does his own stunts.
Keanu Reeves does his own stunts as well. The Rock does some of his own stunts. To me, I feel like when actors are willing to do that, it just shows that, you know what, they're taking it seriously, you know, and they're throwing themselves into this role. I do hate when they try to cut around it, and
because you're just not buying it.
Yeah, because like I want to see these people actually fight. You know what I mean?
And they make it pisses me off when they like make the camera so shaky when there's a fight scene. It's like, what? I can't even see what I'm like looking.
They do that to hide the fact that these people can't fight. That's why. You know what I mean?
That sucks.
It does suck, and a lot of the actors don't take the training courses seriously.
Yeah.
Like you watch the training courses Keanu Reeves does, takes that shit serious.
Yeah,
you know
even like
I mean?
when he did The Matrix.
Yeah,
you know?
and he actually spent a year training for that role.
It's crazy.
And you see how that's paying dividends now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So to me, I really prefer and would like to see more actors, you know, do their own stunts and do their own fight scenes.
Yeah.
I understand there's like insurance liabilities and stuff like that, but you know, there's ways around it.
Yeah.
You know, like one of the reasons why I don't like the MCU as much is because a lot of the times those actors are not doing those fight scenes.
And you can tell, you know.
You can kind of tell, you know, and so it's like, you
yeah.
know. But I'm a sucker for like really good action films. Action films to me are, I think they're kind of a lost art because they're not what they used to be in the 90s. You know what I mean?
I wonder why that is. Like the Stallones, the Schwarzeneggers, the Van Dammes, the Chans, you know, like, is it kind of a dying breed?
Yeah, kind of, because now they're being replaced with, like, you know, actors like Robert Downey and, you know...
more comic-y kind of stuff.
Yeah, and so, you know, in the 80s it was all meatheads.
Yeah.
In the 90s you had the average man. In 2000s... there's really no action here. It's like Jason Statham was on his way, but
yeah,
you know, I mean, he might get it back with Hobbs and Shaw. We'll see. But there's really not a solidified action star, with the exception of Keanu Reeves
and The Rock too. I feel.
The Rock, yeah.
And what's his name from Fast and Furious?
Oh, Vin Diesel.
Vin Diesel, yeah. He
Yeah.
had like Pitch Black.
But see, the thing is that you don't see him fight.
That's true.
You know what I mean? He's always driving.
Yeah, I know. What is with that?
You know what I mean? He's always driving, so it's like,
yeah.
You know, I would love to see more action. I don't know why that is. I just think, you know, like Matt Damon when he did Jason Bourne, like the first two, you can actually see him like actually fighting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then by the last two, they cut around it. You know, so. I don't know why action is dying, but there is some really solid action films coming out of Hong Kong and London, stuff like that. There's a really good one called Triple Threat on Netflix right now that I highly recommend. Really good, and there's a bunch of really good martial arts in that movie.
Nice.
So action films would be my tops. I fucking hate comedies though.
You know.
Yeah, there has to be a really good comedy.
I feel like comedy has changed a lot, and it's hard to find like those like dark comedies. You know, like I want more of those because that's more up my alley.
Like movies like Tropic Thunder. I fucking love that movie. I think that movie's hilarious. And everything on there, like everything they're talking about, it's fucking true.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it so funny.
But a lot of didn't that film get kind of like people didn't like it because of the whole like Robert Downey.
But that was the point that
I know
they were making.
I know,
you know
but people got like offended or something.
Yeah, because they didn't understand the joke in this, and that's still happening today.
I know.
You know what I mean? So that's what he was touching on. So a comedy would have to be. It has to be really, really good for me to really enjoy it. I don't have that many comedies in my collection.
I don't have. Yeah, same here.
I only have maybe like a handful, and that's like Super Troopers, Tropic Thunder, Brutal Massacre.
Oh my god.
A comedy horror documentary, which is pretty fucking funny. But that's it.
That's it?
That's all the comedies that I own.
So would comedies be like your least favorite genre?
Yeah, comedies would be my least favorite.
Okay.
Sergeant Bilko is one of my favorites too. That's fucking hilarious, I think. But yeah. But I digress. That's it.
Alright, you're up.
Alright, so going off on the film school, so do you see yourself directing another movie or going back into that world at any point?
I definitely miss like directing. I had a lot of fun doing it, and I had more control over that. Because before, back in film school, directing wasn't my major. I don't know if I told you that. My major was like producing and casting. And then like when I graduated, I started to write, and everyone was giving me like, oh, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do this. I didn't like that. I was like, this is my script. I'm going to do it the way I want to do, instead of like all these people trying to tell me what to do. It's my vision. Like, I want to make it mine. If you want to collaborate with me, great. So that's kind of when I started to like directing, because I had it under my, like, it was under my grasp, it was in my control. And I really had fun with it. And I did like it because, like I said, it was my vision. No one was telling me what to do. So I do miss it, and I do definitely like want to do more in the future, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you miss it?
The film school or directing?
Directing.
I do. Yeah. I mean, it's very hard when people are not dependable that you ask for help. And that is one thing also, like backtracking to film school. I'm not even kidding you. A lot of the time, if you were to help somebody, I always like a code, right? Like, you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours kind of thing. You don't really get that. It was a lot of people wanting things for themselves and not really helping you in return. And like I said, there's maybe like 3 people that I could rely on, and like that was it.
Cutthroat.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like, people just like wanted things for themselves, and so that was really tough. And it still is like that now. Like, that hasn't really changed, but I don't know. And then I met you guys, so hopefully I can rely on you guys.
Well, obviously, can we rely on you? That's the question.
Oh my God. So, but yeah, I do miss it. And like, if I can work with reliable people, then yeah, for sure.
All right.
Yeah.
So, next up.
Dun, dun, dun. Okay. So, this is totally not film related, but what are some of your hobbies?
My hobby is sleeping in all day. That's my motherfucking hobby. I actually work so much that I don't really have a hobby, honestly. Like,
any hobbies like in the past that you did that you miss?
No, because I was always working steadily. Ever since I got my first job, I was always working. I never had time to get hobbies or anything like that, you know.
Well, a podcast is a hobby, isn't it?
Yeah, but I don't consider that a hobby, though. I consider it more like I don't know. What is a hobby?
Like kayaking, hiking, bowling, baking, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, see, I don't consider podcasting a hobby because I like doing this.
Well, you're supposed to like doing hobbies.
I don't like doing, but see, I don't know. Well,
reading.
Yeah, I don't read unless it's closed captions or subtitles.
I mean, watching movies is a hobby, but like besides movies.
You know, I did try a lot of hobbies. So when I first got a job, I worked steadily. And so whenever I was off, I was doing some, bad shit. I was into drugs. So drugs also played a big part into one of the reasons why I didn't have hobbies.
Yeah.
But when I kicked that, I tried to do certain things, like I tried to do softball for a minute. I went out and played and did a couple of games. I went out and tried to wrestle for a while, and I actually went wrestling. Actually went to a training academy in San Jose and did that for about 2-3 years. I mean, I miss that. I do miss wrestling, but wrestling though is, like I was telling Shan, it's like it's a 24/7 gig.
Yeah, it's not something you can just
you can just
once
turn
a
off.
week.
No,
yeah.
you have to be committed. You know what I mean? And so, if I was doing wrestling, I wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
I would not be here. I would not be with my lady.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be doing any of the stuff. I'd be out there training right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because that's what wrestling is. It's 24/7. So, you know, you have to kind of give up a lot.
Yeah.
But, you know, I do miss it. But I miss it to, like, in regards of, like, being in shape and staying in shape and stuff like that. When I was doing that, I was, like, in good shape. I was, like, I had good cardio and stuff like that. And so, but, you know, that's pretty much it. Wrestling, but nothing else. I never really had any solid hobby. Like, I would always do things here and there, and then once I do them, I get bored, and I'll just move on to the next thing.
I feel like you get bored easily.
I do get bored easily, especially if I'm not challenged enough.
Yeah.
If I feel like I'm not saying wrestling wasn't challenging. It really was, and it was taxing. But when I was doing other things, like baseball or softball, whatever it is, you know, I'll just get bored easily. Because if I'm not into it, I'm not into it. You know, it's just like, well, what can I do? And I'm always looking for that next thing to, like, kind of jumpstart my heart, sort of.
Yeah.
But I think that's more of a midlife crisis more than looking for a hobby, because I'm trying to look for things just to, like, get my adrenaline pumping so I feel alive.
You're not going to go skydiving anytime soon, are you?
Fuck, I'm afraid of heights. So.
I'm afraid of
So that's one of those things, you know. So I don't know, like, hobbies, I don't really have any per se, but
okay.
I would say, actually, no, music would be
music.
Actually, now that I think about it, music is a really good hobby that I had for about 10 years. Writing, performing, stuff like that. But after a while, that doesn't get fun either. You know, once you start thinking of it as, I need to blow up, it doesn't become fun.
No, it becomes like you feel like you have to. Like, there's pressure involved.
Yeah, there's a lot of pressure, and
and that takes the fun out of it.
Yeah, so you're doing. I did that to have fun and also to express myself, but at the same time, you know, I think music and wrestling are the two that I miss the most. But at the same time, I feel that I've grown from the most. You know, like. So I took a lot of attributes from those two hobbies and then applied them everywhere else within my personal life, professional life, or wherever it may be. Yeah. And I just took those and just amped those up. So that's it.
Okay.
All right. So I'm next.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, wait. Oh, no, I'm going to answer that one later. Okay, so other than female nudity, what is your least favorite horror trope? Like, what's the trope that you fucking absolutely despise? Other than...
Besides female pointless nudity?
Yeah, pointless nudity.
I think what's gotten so popular is the same formula. Like a group of friends who I don't really care about making some dumb jokes, and then they get themselves in a situation. I feel like it's become the formula is just too... It's commonplace. Yeah, and I just get bored of that really easily. It's like it's not exciting for me anymore because we've seen it so many times.
It's like you can already pick up the story beats already.
So that I would say... I like something different, you know. I like it when it surprises you. So I would say that. But female nudity is my absolute number one, even though I can't use that one. But yeah, I would just say like the simple formula that just gets boring.
So formulaic storylines. Yeah, I can see that.
And remakes.
Oh god, that's a different
whole
episode.
other different story.
That's a different episode. That's a different episode that we're working till. Okay, you're up.
What's the creepiest thing that has ever happened to you?
So the creepiest thing. Okay, so I think I was about 11 or 10. Can't remember. What year did I Know What You Did Last Summer come out?
97, I believe.
97. Mm-hmm. So that's what, 10, 11, 12. So I was 13, about that. 13, 14. So I went to go see. So my mom took me, my stepdad, and took me and another friend to go see I Know What You Did Last Summer in Santa Cruz.
That's a perfect place to see it, actually.
Yeah, it is.
It's a beach town.
It is. And I remember when the girl got killed in the in the mannequin.
Oh my
room.
god, that scene scared me.
I fucking started laughing.
That scene was scary.
It was the sister that got killed, not her.
Yeah.
When she's like all screaming, and then she gets her throat slashed.
Yeah.
I started laughing. I don't know why. I just started laughing because I thought that was funny.
Nut job.
I was the only one laughing, and my friend just kept hitting me. He's like, "That's not fucking funny." It's like that's pretty funny. I don't know why, but she was a bitch, so let be that as may. But anyway. We got home, and I remember going to sleep about midnight, and it's a dark room, and I used to sleep behind this grocery store, and it had lights everywhere, so like even if my blinds were going, the light would come peep in, right? And I had the same kind of closet doors, the sliders. And I always leave, for whatever reason, I think it's probably because as a kid, I was always told there's monsters in the closet. Yeah. So I still take that with me. And to this day, I never close my closet door.
You leave your closet door open?
Yeah, I always leave my closet doors open.
I always keep mine closed.
I always keep them open because I want to see what's coming. You know?
I don't.
That's
the whole point, is not to see it coming.
I would rather see it coming. And so I'm sleeping, and I wake up. And I can't move.
Ew.
I fucking can't move, but I can hear myself. I'm like, I hear me talking. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? Like, why can't I move? And then my closet, all of a sudden, like, the door starts disappearing.
What?
And then, like, there's a shape that just comes out, starts walking toward me.
Oh my god. Was it
slowly walking toward me. And then I'm screaming so fucking loud at this point. Like, I can hear myself screaming, and I'm thinking, why is no one hearing me? And this shape just stands over me and looks down at me. Wow. And it looks like the fisherman. Because looks like he
has... I was going to ask you, what was it, like a shape of a human?
It was a shape of a human, but it looked like he had no form, but it just looked like a big fucking trench coat and a hat. And I could just see something like beady eyes, like through it, right? And he's just staring at me, and I'm closing my eyes, and I'm like, go away, go away, go away, go away, go away. I'm closing my eyes, and like, next thing I know, I wake up, and it's like daytime, and I can move. Like, ah!
Oh my god. Do you think that was like sleep paralysis?
No, that was sleep paralysis because I talked to a friend of mine. And I told him what had happened. He's like, dude, that's like sleep paralysis. Like you can do that. It's like your mind's awake, but your body's asleep.
Move.
And so that's one of the things. And I have actually had sleep paralysis several times.
That's so scary.
And so after a while, I never had it again until like 4 years ago.
Wow.
And then I remember... I always felt weird because I used to live in an apartment that just had really bad vibes. And my lady even says, like, man, this feels like thick with negativity. You know? I mean, it just feels bad. And so every time when I be sleeping, like, I'll get goosebumps for no reason. Like, I feel like there's someone watching me. And it's one of the reasons why I leave my closet door open is because, like, what, no. And so I'm sleeping, and then I feel this thing on my chest, and then my hair start to, you know how you can feel your hair
up,
you can feel it, and all of a sudden I just get goosebumps. Like when I know that, I'm like, fuck, I know I'm fucked. And then I just feel like this pressure on my chest, and I'm like trying to move, and then all of a sudden I feel something around my fucking throat and start choking me.
In that apartment?
Yeah, in that apartment, and then it starts choking me. I'm like,
oh.
And my mom's not home. She's working graveyard shift. And I know the TV's on because I can hear it all of a sudden. But, like, I don't want to open my eyes because I don't want to see what's on top of me. And, like, for whatever reason, I just pictured this fucking gargoyle on top of me. And I'm like, I don't want to see this. I fucking got momentum, and I rolled off the bed, and I hit the fucking desk on my head. And I'm like, shit. I did not go to bed the rest of the night.
I wouldn't have either. I'd have like put the lights on. And
I had to go to work like at 8 in the morning. I'm like, fuck, this sucks. And so that's happened to me several times. And then I
Wow.
saw that documentary, The Nightmare.
I was just gonna ask you that. That doc like freaked me out.
That documentary scared the shit out of me
With little like
because
shapes that they have. I'm like, and then the guy with the hat.
yeah, that's who I
Ugh.
saw. That's who I saw when I was a kid.
That's really scary.
And I remember watching that, and I was like,
I couldn't like sleep after that. Like
I think I fell asleep, but then I think a few nights after, like it happened again while I was sleeping with my lady, and then like I almost hit her.
Oh my god!
Because like I tried to, break free, and then she's like, "Oh shit, I'm sorry."
Oh my god!
it's So like sleep paralysis is like the creepiest and the worst thing that's happened to me.
Yeah.
That fucking sucks.
Wow.
So that to me is like, those things are fucking scary.
Absolutely.
So yeah. All right. Let's go on to another depressing question.
Sorry.
All right, no. Okay, so wait, god damn it. You know what I hate about my writing?
Yeah, you can't read it?
Exactly.
That's why I write mine on my phone.
Okay, so what's the one thing that you miss from your childhood? What's the one thing right now, like from your childhood? What's the one thing
I miss?
Yeah, what's the one thing you absolutely miss from your childhood? It could be anything. Like, it could be anything.
I think it's the lack of responsibility. When you're a kid, like, you don't really have a lot of responsibility. Like, no, you just go to school, you come home, everything's done for you usually. Like, your parents cook, your parents do your laundry, they make your bedroom, like, they take care of the pets, the plants, everything. You're just like a kid, and like, going outside all the time. Like I lived in a wooded area and by the beach, so I was just always outdoors as a kid, like just having this fun, huge imagination, just running around. And I just think that, and not having like social media too, like just that innocence of being
a kid,
free.
Just being a kid.
Yeah, I really, really, really do miss that. So, and I try to tell myself every now and then to unplug and just like not have my phone and just go out in the woods or something, or by the beach. And it's nice. Like it's like you're taking a bath. Like you're just cleansed of like all this noise, all this like
bullshit.
Because you can't escape it.
Nah, you can't.
As soon as you wake up, what do? You check your phone, right?
You know what's funny is I hear so many people say that, like, oh, when you're with your friends, you should put your phone down, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So I'm a person that actually, I hate the phone. I'm hardly on it.
Yeah, you're really good about things like that.
I'm not even interested. Like,
Yeah.
I don't check text. Like, if I'm with somebody, I'm hanging out with them when I'm shopping.
Yeah.
I don't want the distraction. It is probably, there's a few things why people get angry at me, but it is a main thing that people get really angry at me about.
Because you're not on it?
Because I'm not on it.
See, I like
So
that
they'll
about
say,
you, though.
like, I was calling you. I'm like, oh, well, I was,
Yeah.
out with pizza and beer with my friends, and I didn't look at my phone. I dropped
Yeah.
it in my purse, and I hear it constantly.
Because it's like they expect you to be
They
this to be
expect
glued
everybody-
to you.
Yes.
You know?
And I throw it in my purse all the time.
Yeah.
I throw it in my purse. In fact, I didn't even get a cell phone for.
Mm-hmm.
I had a landline for the longest time because I just was not interested.
And not many people have landlines anymore.
No.
No one even calls,
And the only
really.
time
They
I
just
did
text.
was because I became a single parent.
Yeah.
And I needed to connect with my kids.
Yeah.
To the landline. I didn't even get my kid's cell phone. I was so anti-phone, and I still am to this day. That
Yeah.
they had to get their own cell phones when they got old enough to like start working and pay for their own stuff. So.
And it's hard, right? Like, I'm not saying I'm perfect. Like, I am always checking my phone, but I hate that about myself. Like, when you're a kid, you're just outside enjoying the moment. Now it's like the moment, if you watch a movie and you have your phone and you get bored in 2 seconds, what do?
In fact,
You
I'm
check
the
your
only one here
phone.
that does not have their phone in front of
I know, right?
No.
Well,
On the
because my
other
questions
side
are
of
on
that-
here.
On the other side of that, I don't judge. I'm so used to it with
Mm-hmm.
people that I'm just used to it.
Yeah.
And so if somebody is checking their phone or whatever, I just
Like
personally
somebody.
choose I just personally
We'll get to
choose
that.
not to. So when people get mad at
Yeah.
me about it, I'm like,
But don't you
I
feel
don't know
like
what to tell you.
don't
I have
don't
no
you-
interest.
don't you feel like that innocence though of like just that lack of responsibility to having to check in with everything and like just being on your own and like
I think because
free?
I'm pretty good about, like, I can't relax and have fun unless I have things in order.
Yeah.
I'm that type of personality.
Yeah.
So, like, if I have bills or something hanging over my head or some kind of responsibility that's really nagging at me, I won't go out for the evening until I come up with a plan and then another plan on top of that in case that one doesn't work.
Yeah.
And then I can, like...
You won't be able to relax.
And I won't relax unless I have something taken care of.
I'm the same way.
I usually sit and do that before.
Yeah.
So I kind of give, by doing that, oddly enough, I kind of give myself that freedom later because I'm pretty, I feel pretty relaxed. Like, okay, I'm pretty sure this plan is going to work. I know financially this or payments this or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And I'll have it kind of in place and then I can not think about it.
But don't you miss, like, your parents doing that for you?
You know, I think to some extent I was in a situation where I had to be responsible.
Or did you have...
fairly anyway. And I was pretty like a responsible type. I was kind of known for, like, not drinking, but, like, having fun and partying and stuff, but...
But, like, as a kid, though, like, when you're, like, 5 or 6, like...
I actually couldn't... I hated my home life so much that the idea of getting out of it was awesome.
So, like when you were outdoors...
now I've ever been.
But when you were outdoors, don't you just, like, remember, like, oh, I'm walking here, and, like, it's pretty...
I do remember. I know exactly what you're talking about. Like, that sort of...
Like, you know, you're you're safe.
You know, I think what it has to do with kids is they're very in the moment.
That's true.
And people are not, like, so what I'm hearing, it's translating to me is, I remember as a kid that when I went to go to my neighbor's house and play with them and play with their dolls, or whatever it was, we were doing video games, watching Jaws. I saw Jaws at my friend's house as a kid. I was in that moment. I was not thinking
You were thinking about other things.
Homework I had to do or, like, you know, anything else that, you know, what crappy dinner we were going to have or whatever. I was specifically in that moment. And I think that
I think we don't live that way.
People's happiness.
Yeah.
I mean, I really strive to be, and that's another thing with my phone, like instead of checking, unless I do have something pressing and I know I have to check it at that certain time.
Yeah.
I do try really hard to be in the moment in whatever I'm doing.
I think that's hard with kids today. Like, a lot of kids too have so much pressure.
Kids at 10, 11, 12 should not have fucking phones.
No, and they're just like, you see a kid walking on the street and this is like in their face and they're not even like looking around them or paying attention, you know?
Yeah.
I'm not trying to diss kids, but I'm just saying, like, back when we were little, like, you come home when it's dark, you know? Like,
and some of the information they get, there's no need for it.
I know.
There's no need to be that connected. There's no need at 9 or 10 to feel pressure to wear crop tops and have mascara on and all these things that you kind of see.
It's ridiculous. That's just changed a lot. I don't know. But then I think every generation says that. You know, like, when we were little, we had to walk 2 miles in the snow to the store.
You know, it's like one of those things, like, it's like one of the reasons why I don't do music anymore is because it's like, you know, I'm old, and so how would I be
You're
able
not that old.
But no, but see, the thing is like, you know, hip hop is very, you know, appealing to young people.
That's true.
And so, you know, when you're rapping about, you know, like mature things, they don't want to hear that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I often get into this argument, but someone pointed this out, and is like, you know, the people that are coming out today are speaking the kids' languages.
Yeah.
They're the ones that they're appealing to because it's their... I know, but my point is saying is that, like, you know, how old heads, like, particularly in hip-hop, like, the older people look down on these younger cats. Yeah. But it also happened the generation before when NWA came out, and then all those other people... like Grandmaster Flash and all them, they started looking down on them. It was like, that's not what music's supposed to be about, but, you know, that's a reflecting of what's happening in society. And so
it'll continue that way, too.
Yeah, no, but so that's one of the things I'm saying, though, is that that it's just a generational gap. Yeah. And so as long as we don't have, like, that one bridging artist that can bridge the two and come to an understanding, like, kids are not going to be wanting to listen to, you know, those kind of artists unless, you know, they want to. Yeah. And so it's just a generational thing, I think. It's like the previous generation thinks they know better, while the next generation thinks we've been there, done that.
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
what I mean? When technically we haven't been there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We haven't been in their shoes. Because today is just more, they're more pressured. Mm-hmm. Everyone wants technological advance now.
Yeah.
So it's just one of those things.
You can't escape it,
No, and so, yes, I'm always on my phone, but...
Always.
I'm always on my phone because, one, I'm always on call. Two, I'm always checking because I'm always trying to put the podcast over. Mm-hmm. And three, I'm creating a brand. So, if you're creating a brand, you basically have to be on your phone and trying to put your brand over. That's one of those things. You got to put it over.
Yeah.
You have to put it over because otherwise, we're going to have other people pass us by.
Yeah, I know.
So it's just like one of us has got to promote.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
There's the zinger.
Moving on.
I was building up to that.
Moving on.
Someone who likes to debate and argue with everybody about everything.
Everything.
I don't think you're always putting over your brand.
Yeah.
I'm always putting over the brand. Always. I'm always putting myself over.
Speaking of brands.
Aries.
Yeah, right. What inspires you?
As in what?
Just in general, like a general sense.
I don't know. If you would have asked me that like 5 years ago, it would have been fuck you. Honestly,
really?
no, seriously, no, not like fuck you, but like what inspired me was to say fuck you. So that would like fuel me. So
why though? Like fuck you, authority, or fuck you, don't tell me what to do. Or
no, it's because I was always picked on. I was always bullied. I was always told what to do. I was always muzzled. I was always held back. I was this and that. I was always down on myself. And so to me, it was always like, I'm going to do something you tell me that I couldn't do.
Yeah.
And I'm going to do it. And basically when I do it, it's like basically my fuck you to you. That's what it is. That's what inspired me back then. Because a lot of the times, a lot of the things that inspired me back then were all negative emotions. Anger.
Because of you were hurt.
Yeah, because I was just really angry. I was very angry at everyone, at anything. So it didn't matter. Like I felt like, like that tagline in Desperado, he came back to settle a score with someone, anyone, everyone. That's how, and
that's
to
how
me,
felt.
that's how I felt like, and actually one of the first CD covers I was gonna do is I was gonna replicate that Desperado cover, but instead of the shotgun, it was gonna be a microphone, and as you only see like the half of my face.
So what has changed? Like,
a lot's changed. As I grew up and started getting clean, I started looking at a lot of my stuff like, fuck, that's not good, like. But I did it, so now I gotta own it. But, I still feel that way to certain people. Like, when someone says I can't do something, I'm gonna do it just to say, fuck you. Look, I did it, I still feel that way with certain people. Yeah. But, to me...
Tell me about it.
Well, I'm not with people in this room, per se.
I know.
But to me, it's to me, it's always just like, I don't feel that way anymore. Yeah. And
you've grown up too.
Yeah, and and my last CD kind of reflects that, where you hear the growth, and so it was really more. That last CD was really more about me just being able to do it one last time. Yeah. So what inspires me now is just, I don't know. It's like, I could watch a movie and I feel inspired, or just I'll have random moments of inspiration just for some reason, and I'll start writing or whatever. Yeah. But one thing that does inspire me is that I don't want to be in the same position that I'm in. So that's one thing that kind of keeps me going. Is that I got people around me that depend on me. Yeah. So I can't let them down. I need to do something, and so that's why I'm always working. I'm always trying to do something. I'm always trying to put everyone over. Yeah. And that's what inspires me now, is to like really get everyone in a position that they need to be in. Yeah. So
That's good. That's a good answer. See.
Yeah, well, it took me a while. Let me get there, woman. Jesus. But that's pretty much it, though.
Yeah.
So, the people around me basically inspire me because they not only do they depend on me, but I depend on them as well.
Yeah.
So the people around me, they gotta be my rock because if they're not, then
Yeah.
I'm just gonna use that rock and fucking smash someone's head in.
Wow. It always ends.
It's something violent,
Like,
something aggressive.
Yeah.
Over the top. Aries.
I know.
No, but I do, but that's what inspires me. So I'm not under the influence anymore. I'm not on drugs anymore. So my inspiration comes from different places now, which is good. So
That's good.
Your problem is you're just an asshole.
that too, but that was just
Zing.
but that's only because that was nature's fault.
Oh, snap.
Nature versus nurture.
Yeah, so I'm a product of my environment. All right, so that's it. So that's me, right?
Yep.
All right, so
Do you remember that? Nobody knows. Yeah.
so what was the inspiration of your first short, Pretty? Wait, that's what it's called, right? Pretty? Yeah. So what was the? I
You
know.
don't know
I
what it's- What?
No, I know it was called Pretty, but I
called
wasn't
Pretty, yeah.
sure if it was called something else.
No, it's
Because I
called
know
Pretty.
there's another short called Pretty out there as
Yeah.
well, so I wasn't sure if that was the same one. But I do know the answer somewhat, but our listeners don't know the answer. Also, I just want you to talk about why.
Yeah.
Not only the influence behind that short, but what was it? What was it about that story in particular that attracted you to make that short? Like, what was it about? You know what I mean? Like, I know it was about someone.
Yeah.
But what was it that attracted you personally, other than?
So, as a backup, I was going through kind of a weird time. It was my last year of college, and then it was until like 2013. And, I went through like multiple breakups, just like had a really, really, really tough time with guys. And I was only working with guys, and none of them, there weren't a lot of, like, at this time, there were not a lot of women in horror where I was. And I was like always kind of sick of, we touched on this earlier, but I was always sick of like working for someone else, doing someone else's idea. And I was like, you know what? I just wanted something really fucked up. Like, I'm depressed. The men I love are like dead. Like, every guy that I've ever liked has either died in a horror or has died in a movie, died in real life, or there's always something tragic behind it. And for those that know me and who this movie is like dedicated to, is River Phoenix. Like, I think he was like the most ideal like person ever, up until I met my husband. But
Good save.
anyways. But
Disclaimer.
yeah, right. Just shout out. But I mean, he knows I love River. Like, everyone knows I'm like obsessed with River. And I just thought River was such a good person outside of film. Like, everything that he's done, like everything he stood for was like just great. And so as I was going through this hard time with guys, I was like, what if a woman loved someone so much that she would like do anything? And at this time, there were not a lot of like necrophilia movies going on. Like, you had Necromantic, which came out in the 80s, which is a crazy German film. Highly recommend it. And you have Necromantic 2. And then you had Dead Girl, which came out in 2008. But it was always men, like there's never really...
It was because when you think of necrophilia, you think of a man.
Right, because
that's why.
Yeah, exactly. So it wasn't really popular for women,
Besides, how can a corpse get hard?
Well...
He's already hard.
He could still use it. You could still use
not
it.
that big.
It's the imagination, yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
So this was like all going on at that time, and I was just like really depressed. And I wrote it, and I did everything. I wrote everything out. Originally, the story did have a difference. I had more characters in it, and I had her like going to a party, and he ODs at a party instead of on a beach. Had a bunch of people flake. So a lot of the stuff that I was going through, like, I had to rewrite some of the stuff. But yeah, like, it was just going through a hard time with romance, idolizing guys that were dead, and like, what, like, if you were so obsessed with somebody, like, what are you willing to do, and I just love and horror movies. I think they go hand in hand. So I wanted to combine the two, so that's kind of like the origin of the story. And yeah, we had a lot of fun making it. The girl that's in it is like one of my best friends. She looks just like Christina Ricci and Winnie Cooper, like in one. And she was down to like do whatever. She was a blast. She's like, yeah, just put blood on me. Like, and she's the nicest person. Like, that's why it was so funny to like shoot her, because she kind of looks sinister a lot of the time, but she literally is like one of the nicest people ever. Like the biggest like sweetheart. And she's like into yoga and health and like, she's a really good person.
That was what I said when I first saw it. I'm like,
she
just like Christina
Ricci.
Totally reminds me of
Yeah, like they could be like twins or sisters. Yeah.
Exactly.
And she liked that stuff too. So like we became friends, and she's like, yeah, I'll do it. So we all like collaborated and had a really fun time making it. You know, had tough times too. Like a lot of bad shit happened while making it, but I like to balance out. We had a better time than a rougher time. So that is the background of that. And another thing too is I wanted more creepy women in horror film. Like I love Carrie. And just women that get bullied. Like, they always show like a guy getting bullied and that's why he ends up being the killer. But you never really see that a lot with women. So that's another thing I wanted to do or to incorporate as well. It's her being like an outcast character.
And if you pay attention to that movie, you can actually spot Ginger Snap in the movie.
I make a cameo. Yeah. I'm the bitch in the movie. Yeah, that's me.
Well, you're a bitch in real life, so. But so, I mean... So real life really kind of influenced that movie then, right?
Yeah, hands
down.
So
did you see a lot in yourself in your main character?
Oh yeah, I mean I was heavily bullied in school, like really bad, and just like you, like I was always being told to do, always people like you can't do this, can't do that. So it was just like pent up and like festering, and it's like, you know, I'd like to put that into a character. You know, that's like people do boxing to let out aggression. I think putting whatever bullshit you're going through into your character is kind of rejuvenating.
Yeah,
you know,
it's so like, you live through it vicariously. Vicariously,
as well. Exactly. Yeah.
So is that one of those shorts that you feel like that you're proud of? Is that a piece of work that you're proud of?
I'm proud of it. I mean, like I said, a lot went wrong. We went through a lot of shit doing it, but I mean, I did it. I could sit here and say, hey, I did a short horror film. I won an award. I produced it, wrote it, directed it, set design. Like I did so much more in that. And I have to give kudos to my cinematographer as well, because he was like my backbone on it. And he's someone who I've worked with a lot before. But yeah, us too. Like I would say we're proud of it. There's things in there I would have changed, but that's because there was nothing I could do to change what happened within that. But like I originally wanted this to be a feature, so imagine that having as a feature. You could drag it out, a lot of more weird scenes going on, people looking for him. So, I mean, maybe I could save money and adapt it into a feature. Have it be more bloody, more gory. That was one thing, is I wish it was a little more gory. I tried to do as best as I could with what we had. But
was it really about, like, was it really about sex, or was it just really about possession?
Possession.
Because, like, with men, it's always about sex. So
right.
I wasn't sure what the intent was with the short. Like, was it sexual, or was it just about possession?
She loved him so much, and that was one thing. Like she got what she wanted. Yeah. It wasn't just about sex. I think when she grasped him, she had more confidence, and she could let her freakish side out. But it wasn't just about sex. With women, it's usually more
possession,
more emotion, obsession, possession. She really did love him. Like, it wasn't just sex. Like, she really, really did love him. I mean, you could tell at the end she's wearing parts of him. So
yeah, which I thought that was pretty fucking, like, creepy. It's like, oh, shit. Like, she's becoming one with him now,
yeah.
Which I thought was really cool. All right, so.
Yeah.
Next up.
All right. I think we're getting close here.
What number are we at?
We are at number 8 now.
Okay.
So, what is one place you would love to travel to that you've never been?
Starbucks in Seattle.
What? Get out of here. Are you serious? Which one? There's like one on every corner.
There's So there was just
That's
always
everywhere you go.
there was this running joke that me and my friends had in high school, and it was all like, and this is right around the time that Starbucks was starting to be popular, and it was funny that you know what we should. My friend just got a car, and I make jokes like, you know what, we should go to Seattle. It's like, what for? Just to go to Starbucks, and everyone laughed. It was like, oh my god, that's pretty fucking funny because that's where the first Starbucks is. You know what I mean? I don't know, honestly.
Anywhere, like if you no budget, like you could just go if you wanted. Like there's no rules.
40 meters down.
Oh my god, hell no.
With my lady, probably Venice.
Oh, that's a nice. That's a good choice.
By myself,
Vegas. No. Just kidding.
Been to Vegas. I have family there, so.
Miami.
I'd probably go to Seattle.
Oh, you never been to Seattle?
I've been to Seattle.
I really like Seattle.
I don't know. People always look at me like I'm stupid. Like, why would you go to Seattle?
No, it's a cool place. The weather is perfect,
and it's just also the music, the music culture down there is really great.
Grunge
you know what
scene.
I mean? And with Venice with my lady, I think we would be able to just have we can just have fun, and
it's a romantic place.
I think your lady would want to go to Seattle too.
No.
I was gonna move to Seattle. Did I tell you that?
No.
Yeah, in middle school, my mom was like, "Fuck California!" Before how I feel now. We looked there. That was the first time I went there, and it was raining. And I just thought the people were really cool. Everyone's like alternative.
It's like a big city version of Santa Cruz.
Yeah, but not as
with less homeless people. I'm guessing.
It's more expensive now though. Like prices have gone up.
Really?
Yeah, but I've got family that lives there, and I went to Aberdeen, which is where Kurt Cobain is from, which is way up north of Seattle.
I think it's like an hour away.
Most depressing place I've ever been to in my life.
Wow.
Well,
it explains his music.
I can see why he became that way. It's just very depressing. But yeah, Seattle's really cool. You guys gotta check it out. It's really cool.
So I'm guessing road trip, Starbucks then?
Yeah, right? And there's good food. There's good food there too.
Go to the Space Needle.
Space Needle. Coffee.
They're like the Rock and Roll Museum or something.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, they did a horror museum exhibit there too, but I missed it. My friend got to go.
Bastard.
I know.
But either one of those two places, honestly.
Okay.
I think both of those are really great places for different reasons.
Yeah.
So I just think both of those would be a really good vacation spot.
Nice.
Okay, so that's what, number 8?
Yep.
Okay, so
Is that where you insert the huh?
yeah, pretty much. Okay, so what's your favorite subgenre in horror?
Oh man. Can home invasion be?
Yeah, it's basically a subgenre, yeah.
So home invasion.
Really?
Yeah, at this point.
No, never mind. I'm not going to go there.
What?
I'm not going to go there.
No,
I'll say it off air. I'm not going to go there.
I'm just at the point I am in my life. But ever since I watched home invasions as a kid, it scared me because I was home alone a lot. My parents always my sister said she'd watch me, but then she would leave to her boyfriend or whatever. So I was home a lot. So home invasion movies just get me because that's the one place you're supposed to be safe. I don't know. So I would say slashers definitely and home invasion. Those are my two.
I know slasher was one of them,
yeah.
And that's one of the reasons why we bonded so well. So
yeah.
we both love slashers. But I was wondering what other subgenre you
besides
like?
home invasion 2. I like possession kind of stuff. That shit creeps me out. Is that a subgenre?
Yeah.
Possessed, ghosts, paranormal kind of stuff. That gets me. Those are creepy.
What's your least favorite subgenre?
Oh man, name some so I can kind of think.
Remake.
Yeah, it's remake one because we all know.
We got possession. We got hauntings. We got zombies. We got creature features.
Necrophilia.
I wish that was a subgenre.
Not yet.
It's not yet.
Not
yeah.
yet.
That's hard. I'm trying to think.
Slashers. I think that's all I can think of. All I can think of right now.
Psychological.
Oh.
I love psychological horror movies.
Yeah, I would say that.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, I guess as of right now, I think the whole
Found footage.
So that's hit or miss with me. I would have to say found footage is a hit or miss. Like, did you see the Poughkeepsie tapes yet?
Nah, not yet.
That
I need to see
really
that.
creepy.
I want to see that.
It's on Tubi.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it edited though?
I don't know.
When did that come out?
That
Because I
was,
remember
like-
watching the trailer for that. Like,
Well, it's supposed to.
seems like
It
it's
was.
been a couple of years.
It was supposed to come out in 2007, but
Uh-huh.
it never came out, and it just came out to DVD. I think like 2 years ago.
It's not like the best acting,
They're all
but
community theater.
the scene, but like for what they did, like the
The one thing that fucked them over really hard was that MGM, with all their great fucking wisdom, thought it'd be a great idea to actually say that this is a true story.
yeah.
When it
They
wasn't.
market it to make you think you're watching a documentary.
And
That's how like it looks.
And that was one of the things that kind of,
yeah.
made the film go down, because then people find out, oh, this ain't a true story. They're bullshit. That's lies. What the fuck?
Yeah.
That's nah.
It kind of has the same vibe of Megan is Missing. I don't know.
I haven't seen that, but I heard like that was pretty intense.
Again, the acting, but the very ending shot that they show of her, whoa, that like left me like so uncomfortable.
Uneasy?
Yeah, because I don't want to give it away, but they show her.
Which movie?
Megan is Missing.
Oh, okay.
I think that's on YouTube. I think
It used to be on Netflix, and they took it off because that's how I saw it.
Yeah, it's not on Netflix anymore.
But
I think I saw something like on YouTube. So I'm gonna have to look that up.
But I love like those kind of like stalker. I love like a stalker. Well, stalker is very close to slasher, so
Is it? I think it's.
Kind of, but you're kind of splitting hairs though.
oh, okay. Then I love stalker. Then I think like because you know me, I love me like those Lifetime '90s stalker obsessive boyfriend movies.
God.
Those are the best.
Oh my God.
But at least I don't know. I'm kind of over the whole zombie thing right now. Like I just think like enough of the zombie stuff.
Yeah,
So,
zombies kind of.
as of this,
Blade.
yeah, as of this moment, I would say zombies is the less. So
Okay, go for it.
behind the scenes shit going on over here. Okay, what is your absolute favorite food?
Come on, really?
Yeah.
You should know this by now, dog.
Our listeners don't. We're having people try to get to know
Okay,
you.
so it's obviously pizza.
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 Is
It
it
does-
pizza?
Yeah, it's pizza. Like
Okay, what kind of pizza?
It doesn't
It's not
matter.
mozzarella sticks.
I mean, I'll eat those for
Burgers.
fucking days.
Greasy.
But like, so pizzas.
Orange chicken.
Ew, what? Gross.
You don't like orange
Oh,
chicken?
Jimmy
On
makes
pizza?
that.
No,
Well, I don't eat
she's just
meat.
talking. She's talking
He
orange
makes
chicken.
orange chicken
I don't eat
all
meat.
the time. Yeah.
Like from scratch, or like you add that
Nah,
blaze
just
shit?
the
Yeah,
blaze shit.
exactly.
You cheat it.
Yeah.
White rice.
I just throw it in the fryer and
Yeah.
that's it. Done. No, pizza would actually be my favorite. Doesn't matter.
What kind of pizza?
Just pepperoni or cheese, whatever. It doesn't matter.
What's your least favorite food?
Fucking vegetables, I guess.
What?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
That's
Well,
like my staple.
But here's the thing why though,
It should
and
be
people
yours.
don't understand that. So when you're a kid,
Here we go.
no, seriously, this is serious, and this plays into one of the reasons why I won't eat vegetables.
Okay.
So when I was a kid, my nana used to always have us eat at the dinner table at lunch, whatever, you know what I mean. She'll always make us eat vegetables. I used to eat vegetables all the time when I was a kid. No fucking problem.
Like you enjoyed them? Like,
Yeah, I ate them.
Okay.
No fucking problem. You know what I mean? But sometimes, like, I would eat half of them, and then she would not let me leave because I'm full. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? She's like, you need to clean your fucking plate.
You need to finish your
You need
plate.
to finish it, or you can't go outside.
That is
Yeah.
such a bad thing that
And so-
adults did back.
And
way back.
so she
Yeah.
would do that to not only me, but to everyone else
Yeah.
that didn't eat vegetables.
Yeah.
So if you didn't eat your vegetables, you had to sit there
Yeah.
and finish it, or you don't fucking do anything. You know what I mean? And what she would used to do
Mm-hmm.
is that if you sat there long enough, she'll get the other kids and she'll sit them in front of you, and she will pour them cereal and have them eat in front of you.
Oh my god, that's so mean.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I love my nana, R.I.P. I
Yeah.
love her to death, but that was one of the things. That was one of the things that fucking really pissed me off.
Why didn't you just finish it just to like make her, you know?
I was fucking full.
But did you have a napkin that you could just like?
No, because if you did that, you got a spanking.
Oh man. See, my dad's side of the family, was that same way. And it's psychological. It makes you
not want to eat that shit.
Or it makes you overeat when you get older, which is what happened to me. It makes you overeat because you're psychologically, you're like, no, I can't. Yeah.
Well, and also you quit being able to judge when you're really full.
Exactly.
Like if
it's
you talk
so
to,
messed with
if
your
you
mind.
talk to my mom,
really,
Yeah.
really
she would tell you that I'd eat everything.
Yeah.
That I'd eat everything. But up until that point when Nana used to do that to me, I stopped eating vegetables.
How old were you? How long did she do this for?
Oh, I was there for about 5 years.
So what was like the age you
So
were?
I was there from 5 to 10.
See, those are like the peak
And then
years too.
then I aged out.
Yeah.
And then Nana's like, okay, well, you go.
Yeah.
Off. But people don't understand that, like, the reason why I don't like vegetables is because of that. You know, and I've talked to other people that were in that same group, that same daycare.
Yeah.
They don't eat vegetables either because of the same fucking
of what
reason.
happened. See, it's such a...
And see, people think that I'm picky, but I will never eat vegetables because of that fucking reason. It's like, it makes me feel like I have to eat it. It's
Yeah.
like, no, like I shouldn't feel like I have to.
It's kind of good for you.
Yeah, but that's beside the point. But that's beside the point though. So it's like
it's psychological.
And so you know, every time I didn't finish it or I try to like throw it away, I would either get hit or I would have to sit there.
Yeah.
There were times where I sat there for 2 hours because I didn't want to eat it.
Man,
it's funny because when I was little, we had a cabinet that was right by the dining table, and the doors were like low to the ground. It was like a little shelf, and my mom one day opens it up. It wasn't stuff in there like storage that we never touched, like old silverware and stuff. And there was a whole bunch of vegetables and meat in there that I had thrown over
oh my
the years.
God, it like piled up.
That's what when you said that about, did you have a napkin?
Yeah.
That was how, when I was, because they did that too, like finish your food, and I either didn't like it or I was not hungry, and it was such a thing. Like,
it's
I
so
remember
psychological.
My friends' parents saying
yeah.
that. I see it's hit me a different. Well, you don't have kids, but with my kids, I've never.
You don't tell them like what to do as far as
once.
Yeah.
I was like, here's your plate.
Yeah.
And
if you finish
as soon
it,
as
cool.
they were done. That was it.
Yeah.
There was never telling them.
Really messes with you. Mess with me. Like it made me overeat in high school.
I think it definitely is such a bad
Yeah, I mean,
thing.
my mom would tell you that I used to eat a lot of my vegetables, but you know, now I don't want to look at them because every time I look at them, it takes me back to
that moment.
Yeah. I'm like, fuck that, and I had to endure that for a long time.
Yeah,
you know, I mean, that's like, you know, fuck that. You know, I don't want to feel that way. Yeah, it's, you know, I should get over it, but that's kind of hard to get over because, you know, you're a fucking kid and
those are the
like
peak
you're
years.
full. Like, what are you supposed to do?
Johnny's food pyramid is now pizza, Pop-Tart, chicken nuggets.
Oh my God. If I ate all that, I'd be like 500 pounds.
Oh, I feel like shit when I eat like that.
But pizza is like one of my favorites.
I do love
pizza's
pizza,
amazing.
though,
That's my favorite food too.
Pizza is my favorite,
Yeah.
mainly because I love Ninja Turtles.
Pizza party.
And that was the reason why I love pizza. And and one of the reasons why I love Domino's is because that was the pizza that they ate in the first movie.
To be fair, they've changed their recipe.
Yeah, the recipe
it was good
now,
in the 90s.
It was good back in the day, but now it tastes like shit.
And
like
pizza goes really good with horror films. Those are like
it does
a marriage.
I remember when I used to do this.
Pizza's everyone's favorite.
I used to do this thing when I was a kid. So I would always we would get like cookies and get like pizza from Cassidy's, and we would bake cookies and
Cassidy. That was you after your pizza.
and Cassidy's, and so I would get like two cookies and sandwich them between the pizza.
What?
And
Ew!
eat it like that
Wrong.
You're crazy.
I was so good.
Okay, besides vegetables, like what's like a food you like? You just don't. You're like, man, like I won't eat.
I mean, sushi is one of those, but
it's
not
my second favorite.
It's not because I don't like sushi. I mean, I've eaten sushi. It's just that it's
Lady,
too.
tells a different story. No.
God.
I got the
Never mind.
jokes
Never
today.
mind. Never mind. Never mind. Move on.
Oh, man.
No, sushi. So, but I don't like. I've eaten sushi, but I don't like going to sushi because it's so expensive.
It is expensive.
It's
yeah.
fucking expensive. And when people say, "Let's go to sushi,"
like me,
like I'm broke. I don't want to go pay like fucking $20 a plate. I'm
Sometimes
good.
You can get a plate for the same amount that you would pay for a burger and fries.
Yeah.
Like, I've gone and gotten a roll.
I think the cheapest are our avocado rolls. California roll.
And that's my favorite. I love those.
California roll is not a real sushi though.
It's not because it's imitation crab.
Yeah, it's not.
I like
real
the
sushi.
sashimi, like the raw salmon, yummy.
Sushi would be one, but that's mainly for budget reasons.
Yeah.
But I can't think of a food that I'm like, eh.
I have to say this really quick before we move away from pizza. Pineapple does belong on pizza.
There's the debate. It's so
Thank
divided.
you. It's ended right there.
Does pineapple taste good on pizza? Vote no.
I do enjoy a Hawaiian slice every now and again.
I used to love it as a kid.
But nah, I don't know. I don't like it.
Oh my gosh.
I loved it as a kid.
Everyone makes fun of my favorite pizza that I always get.
Pesto, pineapple.
Pesto sauce, jalapenos, and pineapple.
Interesting flavor mix.
Oh my god. Sweet and spicy.
At the same time.
Yeah.
So
He already knows.
And preferably feta cheese.
It just smells gross.
Oh, it's delicious.
Yeah, I'm sure. You keep telling yourself that.
On a good gluten-free crust.
Gluten-free. And they only make a size. It's bullshit on that because they only make gluten-free as a large. They don't make it any other bigger.
I would.
I know anywhere you go.
One of my
Round
least
table
favorite.
or...
My least favorite would be fried chicken.
You don't like fried chicken?
I don't like fried chicken.
But I thought, like, every time I'm with you, you're always eating...
I'm not.
Wings.
Buffalo wings.
That's buffalo wings.
Oh, okay, never mind.
That's not fried chicken.
I don't eat meat. I don't eat meat, so I don't know the difference anymore.
Do you not know the difference between fried chicken and buffalo wings?
It's chicken. It's the same thing. It's the same thing.
Wow.
Tastes like chicken.
Has a little piece of meat on it that it takes you 10 minutes to pick off.
And then it gets stuck in your teeth. It's gross.
So yeah,
it's mainly you're paying $10 for 6 bones.
I don't like fried chicken. I don't know. It's just like. It's just too dry for me, and then I don't like the breading. It's just I don't know. I don't like it. Fried chicken is one that I won't eat.
If you have
grilled chicken, yes.
Is it white meat or dark meat?
Uh-oh.
I don't know. I'll eat chicken. I don't give a fuck.
I thought you said you didn't like chicken.
No, I don't like fried chicken.
He likes grilled chicken.
So grilled chicken.
I'm getting hungry,
Yeah.
even though I don't eat meat, but I'm like wanting
I
vegetables
said
now.
grilled chicken is good.
I need some pineapple.
Only time I'll eat vegetables is with Chinese food. That's it.
But even that's like
and
fried.
Even that you don't even.
That's like fried though. That's not like grilled.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. What's your question?
Okay. Oh, it's my.
Yes.
Me. Wait, I thought I just asked one.
I asked, "What's your favorite food?"
Oh, okay.
10 minutes later.
I need my buzzer.
I know.
I need the shocker thing.
You do.
Okay, so for our listeners, what's your ideal Friday night? What's an ideal Friday night for Ginger Snap?
Vacuuming.
No, that's before. Honestly, I like to chill Friday nights. I like to go out to dinner or have dinner. Yeah, Netflix and chill. Very like staying in. Back in college, I was like, let's go out. Like, let's go to this bar. Let's go to a concert. Which I still like doing, but I think now, because I live further from that, it's harder to get to. But I just like a good meal and a good movie, and that's basically it. If I'm like in a city, I'd love to go to like a concert or like a theater event. Like I used to go to Midnight for Maniacs on Fridays when they had that, which was super fun. So yeah.
So you're a homebody?
Well, if I'm like in my
Depends.
area, yeah, it just really depends. Depends where I'm at too. If I'm in like Monterey, I want to go out. If I'm like where I live, then I'll stay in, or go out to dinner. So.
All right, go ahead.
All right, this is my last question.
Okay, make it a good one.
What is the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened to you?
Oh God!
He's all too
How much
ready
time
to
do you
make
have?
You can only pick one, like the most embarrassing.
Okay, so I'll tell the story. So I used to work at the Boardwalk for 3 seasons. I worked at the Boardwalk, and I worked there in had ups and downs, whatever. One day I had really bad case of food poisoning for some fucking reason.
What'd you eat? Like cotton candy?
I don't remember. I don't
Greasy
remember.
pizza?
Vegetable pizza.
I don't remember what I had that day, or unless it was something from the night before. But I was working the carousel, the merry-go-round.
Oh my god.
And I was feeling it. It's like, oh god. And like it was like 3 hours into my shift, you know, about 2.5 hours, and my break was coming on. I was like, all right, cool. And then I'm going, and I feel my stomach rumbling. It's like, fuck, I need to go. And I called. It's like, hey, I really need to go. Like, I know my break's coming up, but I need to go like now. They took them 10 minutes to get there. And I'm walking around the fucking carousel. I'm like, oh, dude, this sucks. And so so by this point, I'm leaning on the pole. I'm like, dude, I need to go. I go, and by the time they get there, and so right as I start the ride, they get there.
Oh my god.
So I have to wait a ride cycle before them to come through.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck. So it's 2 minutes of hell. I'm like, okay, I can do this, but I feel it though. Like I feel it. Like, you know, you feel that pressure.
Yep.
It's like, oh man.
Bubble guts?
Like, oh no. And so the ride stops. They come in. I throw them the pager, and I'm gone. And I run to the employee lounge, and I go to the bathroom, and
Oh my god.
everywhere. Right?
Oh.
And it was so...
Some squirts.
Yeah.
Hi, man.
It was so bad. But I'm like, okay, I feel much better. I'm walking, and I'm literally right there by the carousel, like where Surf City Grill is.
Yeah.
I'm right there, and then I farted and
my God.
shatted myself.
Oh, that's the worst.
Oh my god.
And
That is
the
the
worst
worst.
fucking thing is that it came out a lot.
Oh my
And
god.
I
Why are you talking?
no, seriously, wait,
Oh my God.
wait. And so I feel it, and it's really wet, and I go like
Ew.
this. I cover because it's blue. It's dark blue, so you can see if it's wet. And so
Oh, I thought you meant your shit was dark blue. I'm
no.
Like, you need to get that checked out, bro.
No, but you can tell there's a wet stain
Yeah.
there. So I'm like, so I cover my
Yeah.
ass, and right behind me are my two supervisors and two leads, and they see me run to the fucking lounge, and I go back and I sit down and just
Oh my god. That's so gross.
I look
You
and
had to ask this.
Well, because I thought it was a funny way to end
and so
the show.
it's all over my underwear. It got onto my pants. I had to take it off and throw my underwear away.
Oh my god.
And
Wait,
then-
while you were there?
Yeah.
What did you change into?
I put my pants back on,
Ew.
but they had a wet spot on
Yeah.
there. So I went into, so luckily across the street wardrobe's right there. So I ran across the street before they closed. Hey, I need another pants. So they gave me pants.
Did you squirt again?
No. They gave me pants, but what I did was like I
Don't you have
ruffled.
to turn in the pants? So that
Let me get there. I had to ruffle up the pants a little so they couldn't tell what was wrong with them.
Yeah.
So I put them on the table and I ran out.
Oh my god,
And
that's so
she
gross.
opened them and was like,
Oh! Surprise!
And so years later, like 10, 15 years later, my friend Hans works there. And he's a sweeper. And I told him the story, and he goes around and says, "Hey man, you ever heard of anyone shatting on the merry-go-round?" I said, "Yeah, I know that dude." Blah blah blah. And so like he says like that, my story has gone through the boardwalk, so everyone knows.
You're a living legend there now.
So everyone's like, "Oh, what the fuck? You know that guy?"
Oh my god,
That's probably the.
that's pretty embarrassing.
Yeah, no, that's pretty embarrassing. So it was pretty bad.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, last question for me.
Okay.
What's your most embarrassing one? I want to ask
No,
you that.
mine's embarrassing. Like, no, that's for another time. That's
Not
another
fair,
time.
not fair.
Okay, so this is an easy one.
What? You've asked me no hard questions today.
Cause I don't know what's a hard question for
Well,
you.
what's your last question? Let's hear it.
Ask her most embarrassing.
No, you can't pick the same questions.
I know. I actually had what was your favorite horror movie, but you asked me that one already, so I'm not gonna ask you that. What country, in your opinion, does the horror the best?
France.
Yeah, I can see that.
I think they're the most effective with emotion, and they're really good with women. Like, the male directors really know their female characters, and they just get you like that tension. I think Sweden too. Like, Sweden has some really good, more like they're all like more psychological. Really, they're not just about like gore and violence. They're more like mental, which I really like, and I think that's like really effective.
Do you feel like other countries better than us push the envelope a little bit and make it less about making money?
They do more artistic too.
Well, also too, if you look at it, like other countries, they focus like horror is not a genre where they look down upon.
Right.
So horror movies are actually adult stories.
Yeah. You never really see an immature like
they're not
horror film.
Yeah, they're not really teenage driven. You know what I mean? Unlike, the USA where it's like all about teenagers.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, America does a good job too with like a lot of horror stuff, but I definitely think France.
But it's mainly for kids.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
And so I think.
And sometimes just making a buck.
That's true.
Like taking
absolutely.
a reused formula that's already been used and just redoing it because it made money.
Exactly.
Last year during the summer.
Yeah, and I feel like other countries give like independent people more of like I don't know, like they give them a chance. Like they hear that if someone has done a good job, they'll rehire them and they'll keep doing it. But I feel like other places give other people a chance, and like you said, they do push the envelope. They're very
French does a lot,
French
especially with
too.
the French extreme movement that they were doing with High Tension, Inside, and Martyrs.
Repulsion. I mean, just a bunch. There's a big list out there, but I don't know. Theirs affect me the most. I want to say, out of everybody. So, what about you? What do you think?
I would have to say Korea.
Do you think they're too similar though? Because I feel like they use the same formula. They always use a girl with long dark hair and a white dress. And
that's Japanese. That's
but
Japan.
Korea does too, though.
No, Korea is usually more motivated by revenge. Old Boy.
Yeah.
Sympathy for Mr. Vengeance. Sympathy for Miss Vengeance. I think North Korea actually does horror a lot better.
I wonder if like their government has anything to do with that. The whole like revenge side.
Maybe. But I Saw the Devil. To me, that I thought
haven't seen that yet.
That fucking movie like affected me. Old Boy affected me. I think Korea does horror movies very well. I like French too. I think the French do really good movies. The Spanish also.
Spanish does too. Yeah.
Spanish actually does some really good stuff. But to me, it would be either between North Korea or Spain.
What country do you think makes fun of itself the best?
America. Yeah.
London. UK.
London does too, but I just can't get into theirs for some reason.
That's really more the thing that like really drives people off the fucking wall is the accent, I think, and the way they talk.
I was gonna say the dialogue. I think the slang sometimes is harder to grasp. Like you don't know what
you don't understand like what they're saying.
Slang is like
like what the fuck is a loo?
Yeah,
you know what I mean, or something like
what's
that.
smug?
I had a book written. There was so much slang in it that I don't remember the author's name. This was years and years ago, but. Few pages in, I couldn't even get because I did not understand the dialogue and the slang. I had no idea what they were talking about.
I always feel like I can always understand what they're saying,
except the witch. That I needed. You couldn't understand what they were saying. I'm sorry.
I haven't seen it yet, so I can't really. I didn't know that was a British movie.
Oh, it's like 1800s British. Like they're like the way they speak. And
I didn't even know that girl was British.
I don't know if she is. I'm just saying, like, everyone else in it is. And I think the director's from there.
I just think, I always feel like I can follow what... I always feel like I can follow what they're saying.
I think their humor is very different, though.
And I think, too, also what helped is that when I was training for wrestling, we had a British documentary crew following us for about a year and a half.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and so... we had them and they were talking, and then I kind of picked their brains, like, hey, like, you know, what is this, like, Cockney slang? Like, what is that? Like,
what is this language of
it's
yours?
like, and so, like, you know, it's basically saying, like, you know, we talking on a kind of rhythm, and so it's just like, it's just us, you know, rhyming words, but like there's always a subtext to it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like when it's like, you know, Don Cheadle also says it in Ocean 11. He has a really great breakdown. You know, we in rubble, like Barney Rubble, we in trouble. You know what I mean? So it's like, to me, that's a really perfect way of seeing that. But I told the directors too when they were following us, like, you know, I just love those British movies when every time you use the word cunt. When you call someone a cunt, that's always good.
Or when they say
and they started laughing.
When they say can't, it sounds like cunt. I can't do this. Like, it
can't.
sounds like cunt. Like, what?
What'd
Yeah,
you call
fucking cunt. I just love that, especially like watching Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels.
Oh my god. Who has the heavy accent in that? It's I forgot his name.
Vinnie Jones.
It's not. I can understand Vinny. It's
Hatchet
just
Harry.
It's certain places too, because everybody has their own way there. Like Manchester's a different thing. Liverpool's a different thing. Camden Town has a different, like, so I don't know. Like, it depends where you're from, I guess. Because it's just, I don't know.
They all talk different.
Yeah.
And they all have different dialects.
Yeah.
Which is good. Yeah.
But as far as like who makes fun of themselves the best, I think American horror films. There's so many horror comedy films in America. The formula they make fun of too. So I think we do it best when it comes to that.
Scary.
I just think self-deprecating humor, like with from the UK, it works.
Self-deprecating.
Like where where they talk shit about themselves. Like, that's what's called self-defecating or something like that.
Their teeth. Just kidding.
Wow.
Just kidding.
On that fucking note.
I'm just kidding.
On that
Isn't
note.
defecating taking a shit?
That's what I
Is that
thought.
what
Yeah,
self-
defecating.
Yeah, no,
I mean,
but that's-
deprecating? Deprecate?
No, that's what it's called. I think
Defecating
I
is
don't
shit.
Think it's self-defecating. Defecating is taking a shit.
You know, which you experienced on
Yeah, exactly.
the boardwalk. No.
That's why
I'm just
said
kidding.
Are
it
you
on
taking a
accident.
piss? Is that what
Oh
you're
my
doing?
God, I hate
Are you
that
having
term.
a laugh?
Let me just put
Are you
this
having
way.
a fucking laugh
The
right
British
now?
they use pee way too much. Taking the piss. They say that like all the time, or like, I don't know.
I love that term. I was like, are you taking a piss?
I don't
That
understand
means,
it.
That means, are you talking shit?
I know what it means, but I just don't get it.
You just said literally 2 seconds ago you don't understand
No,
it.
I said I don't get it. Like, why?
I have it on fucking
it so
audio. It says you don't understand.
Oh
I
my
don't
gosh, he's just
understand what
being
it
annoying.
means. I know what it means, but I don't
He knows what
understand.
you're saying. He's just
Yeah.
Are you having a laugh?
defecating right now out of his mouth.
He is. And in the pants.
Shut up, you cunt.
Squirt.
I can't understand you.
All right, well, that's our show.
I'm done.
That'll be his
Goodbye.
sound. The Boogieman.
Oh my god. Ew, that sounded real too.
It is
Excuse
real.
me.
So if you smell that.
Ew. Whoever smelt it dealt it.
All right, well, that is our show, Getting to Know Your Host. Hope this was very informative for you
Enlightening.
listeners.
Getting to know
Enlightening
you.
as
getting
well.
to know all about you.
So I am your host, the Boogeyman, along with my co-host.
No, you're gonna. I thought you were gonna
You
squirt
fucked
for a
up.
second.
The Boogieman.
There we go. And Ginger Snap.
Fuck both of you. All right, say your stupid slogans so we can get out of here.
Stay scary and squirty.
Stay sporty.
Bye.
Bye.